Alrighty, so thank you to that one recent follower. Sorry about being late. It is now 7:15, and we're going to start. Kyle's going to recap the last few seconds, including what happened to Elk and John.
Oh, I'm okay. I that's a thing.
Kyle was kicked back reading a book.
There was the entrance into the oddly hole in the floor of the Merchant League, followed by 3 people going in a room, looking at things carefully, and 1 person touching blue circles on the floor, which led to a nice all-out brawl. Lots of yelling, lots of trying to make fun of mummies. That's the main thing that I remember from that. Also Coral. With a little bit of an investigation, we saw that 2 of the mummy coffins were coined with Merchant League paraphernalia, I believe coins, and then following down a hall and hearing the squish squish of boots, Elkton John led the charge, at which point I thought he was vaporized, and it turns out that he is not by 1. So
Mostly vaporized.
Mostly vaporized.
Would you say that he's still standing? Yeah? Yeah? No? All right.
Hey, you got 6. You got 6 to go.
6 to go. I'm just saying.
Keep Elkton John alive until then. Oh, wait. Hold on. I have to... Oh, there's something wrong with his token.
No, Elkton!
And as Elkton John is getting a little changed up, if everybody could go ahead and roll initiative.
There we go. Now he feels better.
Bring up a turn order and clear that turn order like a responsible DM.
By the way, Cloud, you do have that potion of growth about you, don't you?
Oh, I don't think I was ever actually given that. There was talk about it, but it never made it into my inventory.
Oh, well then here, and Dwell sorts through real quick and hands it over to you. Watch the ceilings if you do try to use it. Elkton looks a little compressed down here, but...
So is this a potion of enlarge?
Potion of enlarge. Extra D4 to your damage for like 4 hours. But you get huge.
Oh, poor Elkton.
Big kitty.
Five to go.
All right. So basically, leaving off exactly where we left last time, the recap has ended. Elkton John looks a little unhealthy, and around the corner you hear Mr. Squishy Boots. Doyle.
This looks like a great deal of trouble. He digs into his little gray pouch and lobs out another token. Don't worry, Elkton. We'll bring someone along to help you. Someone like... a boar.
Ow, it hurts. He really replaces me already. Ow, emotionally it hurts.
I'll lob it up ahead of Elkton to cover for him. I think I can do that.
Does it have a throw distance?
Up to 20 feet, actually. I was just looking.
Sounds about right.
20 feet is... Oh, yes. I can definitely give Elkton a little special cover. And then once... let's see. Who's a boar? What should we name him? Sean? Sean seems like a boar's name.
That's not very nice.
No,
There's
I
so
wouldn't
many
do-
Seans in this.
I wouldn't do that. But as the boar lands, I will use my bonus
Aurora
action.
Borealis.
Ooh, Aurora the boar. I like it. Aurora boar. There it is. Aurora boar gets commanded on by my bonus action to charge whatever it seems was casting that blazing light about. So whatever targets happen to be down in that direction.
We're going to temporarily put a blanky kind of NPC type here. You do have the boar in everybody. Everybody should have the boar at the top. I do not currently have its stats. I am working on that. So what do we got? 40 feet. It's got charge. And we're charging. 5, 10, 15, 20. Dwayne, you can no longer see it. 25. And that was 20 feet. So it's going to make its attack with some bonus damage.
Good luck, Aurora.
And as it charges, you can hear it physically stop. Just kind of against like a mush kind of sound. And then kind of just stop entirely.
Dwell will come up just a little bit closer to peek around the corner. And Cloud, I think it's your go.
Just kind of get that feeling, huh?
It seems like something you may want to do.
Well, having seen that that bolt of energy wreck our elk buddy's whole situation there, I'm a little less than excited to go charging around the corner blindly. Yeah, I'm gonna move up to about here. And can I see anything from there? I don't know if they're actually where that token is or not.
So around that corner, you're still not where you are exactly right now. You're not seeing anything different than what's already revealed.
Okay. Well, then what's revealed? So I can actually see.
You can see the boar.
the-
You can see
Okay.
the butt of the boar, and you can see Mr. Round 2 right there.
Okay. There was 20 feet to there. Yeah. I'm going to err on the side of caution here. I'm going to pull out a feet. I think 2060, I think, is my range on this. Yeah, 2060. We need to be a little closer to be short range. Yeah. Oh God, no matter where I'm at, it's going to be, because if I move a little further up, I'm going to be clear for if anything's further down the hall. Yeah, that's fine. Even if he's got some sort of degree of cover, I'm going to pull out one of my my throwing darts and wing it at the white.
Wing away. He's back. He's ready for more.
Nope.
All right, and that's what, 2 of those bad boys?
Hmm. Oh, that's right. I do have 2. That's right. Yeah, we'll go for another one, I guess.
It was
Just
a trap.
throwing
I
everything
just wanted
away.
to throw some darts.
Yep.
Get him
2
out of the
them.
way early while you're on the darts. Save the real attacks for the later ones.
Eh. And then I'm just gonna kind of hug the wall and wait to see what happens.
So, Felon, in front of
Uh-huh.
you, you've got wait and see, and you've got throw something down there, wait and see.
Okay. Let's see. Could I could hit him from there, right? I think so. So if I go to there, and then I sacred flame that guy. Yeah, you take that 8 damage.
Ooh, buddy.
Oh, he didn't. All right,
That
and
was
then I
enough.
moved. I moved 10 feet down here. And I say, "You've got it, Dwayne. Don't worry."
Yes, I feel that I do. Versailles. No?
Going to come up this way. He is going to also attempt a sacred flame. Where are you on my sheet? There you are. And bonus action.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh. Let's see here. Let me pull out that awkwardly sized token. Unless you have it. There it is. Sorry, I was also trying to play with it while you were doing so. Let's have a
Bonk.
fight over a spiritual weapon here. And the bonk is good. You feel very good about looking through Elkton John and past 7 and ignoring Dwale and being very successful in your smiting of this undead guy here.
Sacred, that's sacred flame and a spiritual weapon. We're not a whole lot, but
Your standard routine against undead figures seems to be working quite effectively here. Besides, swording them to death. Any other movement? Anything?
nope.
Do you want to take one step to the left there for me? That'd be great.
This way?
No. Sorry, no, that was a mushroom joke.
Oh. I figured to avoid those.
All right, Mr. Round 2 does look very happy. He looks excited to be back here. He's going to close that gap. And then he's going to take a swing at Cloud. Seems to be ignoring the giant elk next to him. Just roaring past. Cloud, I believe a 16 will do it.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. I was saying,
That's
yeah,
okay.
16 hits.
And that's going to be the second number there, so you get the nice lower number of the 2. And then seeing that his sword is a little bit less than effective, he looks
Wait a
like
minute.
he wants
So
to just...
it was only 3 damage?
Yes, because he
Oh.
uses it with 2 hands.
That's so ridiculous that he rolled worse for his 2-hand damage. Which is fine because my temporary hit points will eat most of that up. Still got 2 left. All right, and then what is this? Con save.
If a 14 hits.
Oh, 14 does not hit. No.
Right. So the sword, very ineffective or ineffectual, and then he just can't seem to get a grip on you. kind of hear a little moan coming from the background as well.
Oh, where'd you go, Elkton? Elkton, get that white.
And then
Uh-oh.
I don't like the name of that token. What it looks.
No, that token I don't like at all.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh,
Aurora Borealis
No!
seems to just disappear right in front of your eyes.
oh, that's concerning.
Aurora.
That's very concerning. I'm very.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my.
Boy.
Did you guys just call us in to do that? I don't want to fight that. Oh my god, get me out of here.
Those of you who speak animal can clearly hear Elkton John do so. That your bonus action command was to attack the thing that did that. Yeah, so he
Attack
would
the thing down the
function
hallway. So
under that.
I will note that he has one prong per eyeball of that, so he should be able to take it and blind the entire thing in one shot. Come on, Elkton.
Actually,
Come on.
there's actually a very good point here. I really need to show you guys.
Very good point.
Come on, Elkton.
Yes.
Elkton.
What this looks like in front of you here.
Oh dear.
Lovely.
So you can see that its middle eye is a little bit clouded over.
Dogs are having issues.
And it looks like some of its eye stalks don't have eyes, or they've been sealed over, or something in particular, but they're not functioning. But Elkton,
That's
Elkton's
not a
doing his job.
staff.
Elkton can do this.
Elkton
Then.
is not going to be charging. He is just going to give up the hooves.
Come on, Elkton.
He's giving him the
That's
hooves.
pretty good.
Elkton, yes.
And I have a feeling that Elkton is probably going to have a very, very high chance of having the strongest one hit of all the animals that you will ever summon.
That's why you're number 8 on the list, buddy.
And he's so happy to be number 8 too. Look at him.
Hey, everybody has their special talents, and Elkton's is being number 8.
Elkton's many talents do come to light to you. Dwayne, you see a giant floating eyeball with eye stalks on it.
Get him, Cloud. And then he also reaches into his pouch, pulls out the last fuzzy lumpkins, and lobs it down towards the beholder, summoning a 3. A badger. It's Witness the Badger. Witness the Badger, as a bonus action, is commanded, gnaw on the floating eyeball thing. And then Dwayne demonstrates the better part of valor.
Yay, something we already have a token for. Whee!
Get it. Get it. It's undead. It's not wearing armor. Yeah.
Yeah, it's as you look at it, most of its flesh is starting to corrode. It looks kind of bulky in terms of the flesh, but Witness manages to maybe claw his way through the mouth of this beholder as it's floating, just kind of. Its mouth doesn't close, and Witness just goes to town on it.
This is why it is so important to have minions about.
Cloud.
All right. Well. That's really not good back there. Like
Mm-mm.
super, super not good. But this thing up here is not that great either. And at least it's got some other targets at the moment. We're gonna try to. I mean, I guess if I went over to it, it'll clear up line of fire for other people wanting to take the white down. But I would have to. Well, I wouldn't have to disengage because I can. If I at least take a single swipe at it, I can mobile out of the way. But you know what? I'm gonna do unarmed attack, first strike at the white. Watched it roll off of 14. Second one. That's better.
That is
So for
significantly better.
4 points of magical damage. Still up?
Yes, please say those things.
Yep. Yeah.
I like hearing the phrase magical damage.
Yeah. Well, after you made that point last game, I'll remember to point that out. So yeah, 4 points of magical damage. Still up?
Yes. He is
All right.
definitely. It seems like round 2 is going to go a little bit longer.
Okay. And then for my bonus action, I'm just going to do my regular single follow-up attack instead of flurry of blows. No key points. Going to save those for this other thing. Oh my god, the 2. So yeah, nothing. And I'm a little off my game from seeing this thing come floating into view. Whew. Yeah. I got nothing else.
Cloud, get back here. Let the animals deal with it. The other animals.
Wow.
All right, there we
He
go.
went there.
There's the racism. All right, I missed it.
See, like the three of them just kind of look over, like, huh?
All right, and if there's nothing else, Cloud, I'm gonna.
Yeah, no, I said that was it.
Okay.
Okay. This is a troubling thing that has just occurred. So we're gonna start with some. Okay, so to start off with, we're gonna drop a spiritual weapon. I want to get rid of round 2. That's a good call. So I'm gonna drop a spiritual weapon right there. Smack him. And let's see if that kills him before I make a decision about what to do next. Oh, that doesn't hit. That doesn't hit. That's a bummer. All right, I guess that's not going to hit then. So then I'm going to move to, I have to move up to here to actually hit him. And I'm going to Sacred Flame him because I can't cast another spell. Suck that 3 damage, dude. Eat it.
Yes.
Ha ha!
Yes, he will.
I knew it. That is 3 magical radiant damage.
He looks a little. He looks a little. You know. He looks salty. He remembers what happened last time.
But that is all I can do for the moment.
Okay. Briseus.
Briseus is going to cast Radiant Defense on Cloud, which means when it's one of her channel divinity things, once the next time something hits him, they will take 2d10 plus 6 radiant damage.
Oh, that's nice. Does it have to be melee or just with any
Just
attack?
it just says whenever you the first time that ally is hit by an attack within the next minute,
Okay.
the attacker takes radiant damage. And then she is going to swing her mace around. Just try to knock an eye off of this guy. Work. If it would belated. There we go.
Okay, I'm sorry. This was this round 2 or was this?
This
oh
was
god, we're all gonna die.
oh god, because it was right. It showed up like right next to the mace, so it just swung around to try to hit it, but I don't think it hit it.
No, it seems to just kind of squoosh against its side.
And I think she's gonna kind of scoot this way out of the way of eye lasers. But and that's it.
All right. Mr. Round 2 takes a look, looks behind him. It's like, kind of has like this nodding moment. And then he turns to swipe at Elkton John.
No, not my John Elkton.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And while that is probably... No, that's not even that poor of a roll. Elkton John seems to fade into darkness.
Oh no, oh the pain, oh god. Thank you, Amen Doctor, but you can't save me from this. Oh, bleh. And we just hit 50 subs. So songs will be happening next week and maybe later today. That wasn't one of them. Okay, continue.
And then he's definitely taking a swing at Witness over here as well.
What? Witness only a 13?
As Witness realizes that maybe longswords aren't the best things to look at. Or to witness? No.
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 Oh, I should have never named the Badger Witness.
All right, so the Mr. Flying Eyeball here takes a look at the critter right in front of it, and then takes a look at the second critter about halfway down the hall, and then rests its eyes on the pointy-eared guy in the back. Oh, felon. Oh, felon.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine. Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
is it still fine?
Oh, it's less fun now. Okay. All right. Well,
Make that deck save, son.
Well, but the attack was a
Oh.
4.
Well, it says it's
auto hit.
I think that's a
They're
combination
auto
built into the macro.
Oh, baby. That
Ugh.
is close. All right. So
Yeah, so enjoy your 22, 23
23, yeah.
points of damage.
That was like a Matrix moment right there.
So that leaves me at math's really hard. That leaves me at 15 health.
Nice.
Yeah, that would 100% outright killed me if I had rolled 2 lower on that.
Quick, bring the stress pretzels. Stat.
I don't have any right now, Sid. Thank you for rubbing it in. That without my stress pretzels, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's rough sometimes, you know.
Sorry, Elkton John, you gotta go.
He disappears into nothingness. Hey, Badger, chew on him. Chew on him, Badger. Opportunity attack, Badger. Oh, better Badger.
Quit badgering Badger, and then maybe Badger will bite.
Oh, I see how it is.
Twill. So you hear some squishing, and then you see Felon get almost obliterated. Just kind of, turns to the side at the last second. And then you kind of hear some weird floating coming down the hallway.
Aha. What in the flying? Sorry, Badger.
Does Witness get flanking because of the holder on the other side? Huh?
I don't think.
Huh?
They weren't doing flanking, I don't think, in this.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, that's one reason. Also, I mean, the man was
Yeah.
his friend, and there's like a lot of reasons. I was just hoping, really.
It's good to want things.
All
I
right.
mean, you know,
Thanks.
maybe hoping
Builds
to get away with
character.
it.
It's good to want things. That's good.
Get him, Cloud. And then a bolt of flame fires along Dwayle's staff towards the beholder. Perhaps.
I'm gonna go ahead and say a 22 does it.
Witness, are you still there? I thought I told you to bite this thing. And with that commanded, he then moves.
Suppose I should have put him in the initiative order when he came out. I'm just gonna add him at 20, and we'll call it a day. They are token actions if you want to take his actions.
Ooh. Bite him. Claw him. Yes. Claw him.
Good job.
Go Witness. See, when you stop badgering Badger.
No, badgering the witness. No, witnessing the badger. I don't know.
Oh, we're gonna go ahead and take your roll.
I like my roll better. I do. Felon, what happened to you?
I almost got disintegrated, Dwayne.
You should step out of the path of fire then.
If we weren't in battle right now.
Oh goodness. All right.
I mean,
Alright.
you got a firebolt at your side. You got Badger chomping down.
Yep. I still not in a great place, but we're gonna see what happens here. So first unarmed attack against the white again. 14. No,
You got him.
I did.
You got him.
9 points of magical slashing.
He's still standing.
Okay, second attack. 14 again. For 8 magical.
He kind of
Nice.
just clumps, and then like his legs just kind of slump to
All
the
right.
ground, and he just stops moving.
All right, so basically, in the process of what happens here, so I'm gonna spend a key point and kick flurry of blows in. So basically, like Cloud, like kind of plants his staff in the ground and kind of like does like a springboard kick off the wall, and like with his back feet. He has feet, not back feet. And just like cuts this thing to ribbons, and then just like continues like tornado kicking around and throws 2 into the beholder too. Do either of those hit?
Come on, Cloud.
All right,
Come on.
so that first one hits.
Yeah.
So the second one hits too then?
Maybe.
Yes. I just
Okay.
don't know if you're using what effects you're using, if any.
Oh, that's fair. But I mean, I can't really knock it prone because it's flying, I don't think. So, let's hit it with the first one. So 9 points of magic damage on the first hit.
Yes.
And then we'll use, because I am doing flurry of blows, open hand technique. We'll make it so he can't take reactions until the end of the next turn, or until the end of my next turn.
Okay.
And then with the other one, 5 points of magical damage, and I mean, pushing him 15 feet away isn't really going to do much. That said, if I spend another key point, I can try to do a stunning strike on him, but that's a Constitution save. No, I'm going to pass on that. I mean, pushing him wouldn't really do anything. He's not going to get like take damage getting bounced off the wall or anything.
Yeah. The walls are generally uniform. They seem a little soft.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
fine.
have, divots in them.
So yeah, nothing else, I guess. Just the damage. And then I'm going to shift around to here. I assume it's taking up 4 squares like a large.
It is a large.
Okay, so yeah, then I'm just shifting around witness to clear up the space up front for everybody else to be able to get a clear shot.
All right. So, Felon, the only thing that was blocking your path from the giant thing that almost just took you completely out,
yeah.
it's just moved out of its way. So you're staring face to face down.
All right. Well, okay. So I am upset at this thing, and
I mean, you can always take cover.
I'm getting there. It's a process. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to guiding bolt it at level 3.
Don't you still have the spiritual weapon out?
I do, but I want to
Okay.
guiding bolt it first, so
Okay.
then I get advantage on the spiritual.
Oh,
weapon.
that's fair. That's fair.
So level 3.
Strategy.
So
Oh, look at all those dice.
25 points of damage, radiant damage, and then I.
No. I want you to describe how, you're, what this is. Are you firing a book at it?
No, guiding bolt is like a. I always imagined it as like a reddish gold beam or bolt that Felon shoots out of the tip of his quill. So like the thing tries to disintegrate him and it like washes the green acid all over him, and then Felon's like, you know what? No, screw you, and then he shoots that back at it, doing more damage. I might add, just to be clear.
Right. That's fair.
And it's like a reddish gold bolt that shoots into it, and then it like outlines it in like a golden outline, so then the spiritual weapon is able to hit it better.
Do we all have advantage to hit it when it's guiding
It's just the
bolt?
next attack.
Just the next attack? Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
we get advantage.
roll advantage. I didn't roll advantage. Okay, 17.
that's considerably better, yeah.
Okay, I
All
forgot
right.
to turn on advantage. All right, so then 12 force damage.
It looks like you've done a very good job of tearing up this beholder zombie.
Is it dead?
It's done. You've put a nice weapon through it as well.
Is it still?
And as you put your book through it, it goes down and just kind of slumps onto the ground.
Thank goodness. I could not have taken another disintegrate. That would have been it.
Well,
Oh my goodness.
Felon, correct me if I'm wrong. As you're still intact, it couldn't actually have been a disintegrate.
Well, I think I dodged the worst of it. I think. I mean, it's it's just a name, Doyle. I think. It couldn't have actually disintegrated me. That's impossible.
What was that?
Does Felon know what it is? Did he roll a thing to know what it is? Are we still in combat?
Felon, before your intellectual curiosity takes over, a young woman should be running down the hallway, throwing these things at us. We may wish to continue pursuing that rather than investigating.
I don't think she was literally throwing them at us, Dwayne.
Well, I would.
Okay, yeah, but not everyone's got your weird bag of fur balls. But he is right. I'm going to heal myself.
And Zeus will take a moment to do the same thing.
20 health. It's better.
Witness, do you see anything unpleasant further down?
So as you guys are all kind of coming around the corner, you start to see, aside from, giant dead bodies that you're stepping over, you start to see something crawling on the walls in the dark. It looks like a bunch of little tiny bugs or spiders or something. And you start to see scorch marks all along the hallway there. And given your previous encounter, you're guessing it's from Mr. Friendly Beholder that is now lying dead on the ground in a heap of gross, smooshy flesh. But you're starting to see more spider webs, burnt spider webs from the Beholder's ray, and they're just starting to become a little more prevalent. You see what looks like a big one straight ahead, Felon.
I do see that. There might be spiders ahead.
Quick question. Briseis, how long does that spell you dropped on Cloud last?
It doesn't say, so I guess the next time you get hit, whenever that is.
There's no duration?
Nope, it's not a spell. It's her channel divinity.
Oh. What was it called
So-
again? Radiant armor?
Radiant defense.
Defense.
Oh no, it says within the next minute. Never mind.
Okay, so
I
yeah,
see
that'll
it.
be gone then. Just checking.
All right, so those of you who are kind of creeping ahead, can you roll a perception, please?
Perception.
I'm gonna roll the dice. No, wait. I'm gonna. No. Why won't you let me help you?
Because you're not one for actually being. They
Dwayne,
don't expect it.
you've been the one that's been cleaning yourself off after all this time. Briseis and Cloud, they're covered in dirt, and if they had some spider webs or something on them, they probably wouldn't even be able to tell. But aside from just seeing the spider webs ahead and knowing that that's probably not a good thing, it's kind of all you see. It's just a lot more spider webs than everybody else is noticing because you're a little bit cleaner.
Every 6 seconds, a bolt of flame erupts from Dwayle's staff, heading towards the thickest of these spider webs. I do not want these on me. Thwum. Thwum.
Okay, so as you're doing that and throwing the fire towards the mounds of spiderwebs, they start to catch fire. You see some burned lumps that were previously burned by the beholder, and now you see some more that are differently burned by you. And you start to hear this, like...
Ow. There's living ones, or undead ones.
Or living undead ones.
And you, looking ahead, Dwayne, you see one of the bigger webs that you're shooting towards in the upper corner as it kind of hits the ceiling. You kind of see a sway, almost as if there's like wind on it, but you don't feel a breeze.
Cloud.
Yes.
Well, I was just thinking, that potion, even if these are larger than usual spiders, if you were to drink that potion, you could then squish the spiders. I've seen cats in my castle chasing spiders about all the
You
time.
might want to
It's-
just stop there.
You'll still go squish them, yes?
And I'll just kind of rolling my eyes and like readying my staff, kind of twirling it idly in my hands, start making my way down the corridor.
This is why you're in my top 5 companions, Cloud.
Is that before or after the badger?
You know what, Witness? Why don't you go keep him company? My 2 favorite boys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, of course I'd love to go with him. Into the spider webs. That sounds great. Thanks, boss.
Oh God, why was I given sentience and the power of speech? This is the worst. Yeah, I'll cautiously, carefully start making my way. Eyes peeled as much as I can, looking everywhere.
All right. Kind of as you enter into this area, you actually get a lot more vision. You get a lot more kind of a concept of what's going on in this room here. The ceilings definitely open up a lot. Yeah, let's just do that.
I don't like that noise you're making.
And then in the back of the room, you can kind of see what look to be spider legs on spider webs. But from where you are right now, go ahead and give me. Actually, no. You guys already did all of those checks.
Yep. Big spider.
So,
Amusingly, I just recently learned the spell web.
Unfortunately, I don't think that will be of any assistance here.
No, but it seemed interesting that, having just learned it, now I have so many examples.
okay. And if everybody can go
Yes.
ahead and roll me some initiative here.
Oh, sure.
But why?
As you guys start to approach down the hall, and as steadfast as you are at looking at the webbings, trying to see what's going on in the room, what you guys fail to notice is that this hallway, when you look up, there's actually this room opens up a smidgen more, and the spiders use that little alcove to be able to sneak their way around.
Of course they did.
Bitches.
I cannot hit initiative for the giant badger.
Can't. That's weird.
As you're entering this room, Cloud, you're taken a little bit ajar and by surprise, as there is a spider on your left and a giant batch of the same exact web that you are currently walking past tries to come at you.
Sure.
Boy, does it.
That's definitely a hit.
All right. So just a little restraining on that.
Yeah.
What was your... All right. And then surprise condition, so... Boom, 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 boom. A second spider comes down and actually comes off of this front alcove of the ceiling and then dangles down in front as its movement. Seeing one small animal and three larger prey. 1, 2. Man, Sean, you are not having good luck today. Or maybe you are. I'm assuming a 15's a no-go, as per standard history.
Did Sean mute?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was going at me. Yeah, no, 15 no go.
And then that will leave us with Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
There's a giant spider
Yeah.
on a web
Yeah.
in front of you.
Yeah. That's fun. Well, it's just in front of me. It didn't actually attack.
No, it saw that you were contained. And
Fair enough.
It would have been concerned if
No,
you
it makes
weren't
sense.
webbed.
Neutralizing the threats first. That makes sense. So how high are the ceilings in here?
Ceilings are 30 feet in here.
Okay. So it says I can make a strength check to break free. What's the DC for that? Do I know?
You
Or
don't
do
know.
I don't know. Okay. Because the problem is my strength is not so great. However, well, it would take another action to do that, so that wouldn't be able to get you at the same round. Because if I'm enlarged, I have advantage on strength checks.
Oh, come on. No DM would say that if you expanded to 8 times your size, you'd still be inside the web that caught you with this. No DM would do that. That would be... I'll do my Sean impression. How's it go?
I mean, there would be a safe argument to be made for that the amount of webbing to entangle, a 6-foot cat would not entangle a 12-foot cat. But maybe. I don't know.
I would listen to that argument if
Yeah.
that action was taken, and we would see how it goes. It
I mean,
might not be a gimme.
it might not, but at the very least, if I get webbed up further, it'll make me easier for me to get out of this. So the length of time that lasts is a minute. So at the very least, it would be through this. I feel like that might be kind of a waste, but I'm not going to probably break free otherwise.
Actually, I think the potion of growth is like a 4-hour potion.
No, if it's as per the spell, the duration is only for a minute.
I thought it was much longer, but
I don't know. It might be.
my identify
I
spell might
believe
have
it
betrayed
is.
me.
I was just going based on the description of the spell.
Yeah,
1D
it's going to be a
1d4
nice
hours.
1d4 hours.
Oh, good lord. Okay, well. In that case, then, I can struggle to remember. I literally just put this in my pouch. And kind of managed to fumble it out. And one arm's loose enough that I can uncork the vial and chug it down. Goodbye, potion. You were in my inventory for about 30 minutes. And you said a D4 hours?
Yep.
So that's 4 hours.
Ooh,
Right?
that's a big kitty.
Yeah, so suddenly Cloud, already, a gangly 6'6", doubles in height to about 13 feet. Oh god, including because my weapons grow too, so my staff is like 12 feet also. That's ridiculous. But yeah, so I suppose it'll be up to you whether or not I get to do anything else this round, or if that's my.
So you would, with the webbing,
Mhm.
trying to expand around you as you physically expand, I'll have you go ahead and just make a free strength check,
Okay.
which you can make at advantage, obviously, because you're enlarging.
Okay. Sounds fair. Just a strength check, not a strength save.
You have
Yes.
advantage on those.
Yeah, no, I know. I already.
Ooh, come on. Oh.
Oh. And he's actually managing to break free of this webbing as he becomes larger.
Oh, it does break free with a 12. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Felon, look how much cover he provides.
This is extremely disorienting. But now these spiders are like steppable size. That's pretty much all I can do. That was an action and something for free.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I mean, you just.
Oh, I guess I
became
could
the same
move.
size of these spiders. Yeah, that's also true.
That's fair. I'll just shift a little bit here to kind of get out of the way and provide some clearance if people need to move in, so I'm not blocking the hall completely.
Okay. With that movement, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Sure. Oh, now I roll good.
You do see.
I'm closer to the ceiling. I can see more now.
Yes, and that's actually true. You do see a rather large and a little bit different looking spider, also still remaining on the ceiling.
Like up in the rafters.
Yeah, and it's a little bit darker. It's a little bit more
I only see the one.
monstrous.
That's fun.
Its legs look a little sharp.
But that I only see just one other at the moment.
And shiny. Yeah. Yep. And you see, obviously this one is
Right. There's another one, and this one looks quite unpleasant.
Was there a pleasant one?
Compared to the others, or compared to this one, yes, they are.
Well, dispatch it.
Well, I would, but it's Felon's turn.
Well, Felon.
Look, okay, I can only do so much. Also, I'm running out of spells. I can't just. Is it actually my turn? Just to clarify.
Yeah,
Okay.
my turn's done.
Okay, I just want to be sure because you're having to make that perception check. So can I see this dude, or is it only Cloud that can see him?
Yeah, no, he is still all up in the ceiling.
Okay, so I can't see him, so I am going to target this one with Sacred Flame to see what happens first. Haha! Look at that, 12 damage. Surely they can't do. Okay.
surely they can't roll a 15. Just had to
Have
open
many
your big fat
legs.
mouth.
There we
It
go.
kind of just shifts to the side on its webbing, just inches. Shoots a little webbing onto the wall and shifts.
All right. Well, then I guess we're gonna have to. I'm gonna expend my last spell slot or my second level spell slot to put a spiritual weapon right there.
How long does weapon last? Is it 1 minute or 10 minutes?
I believe it's just a minute.
It's probably a minute. Most
It's a
combat
minute.
spells are usually a minute.
Yeah, it's a minute.
Okay.
So I assume it would be gone. So 9 probably doesn't hit, but now it's there, so I can continue to use it.
Yeah,
And that is my turn.
Yeah, the spider tries to web it in
Mhm.
place, but it
It's not
doesn't
real,
do
dude.
anything. But your weapon just bounces off anyway. Witness.
Witness. Can you reach the big one?
Big
Try,
one's
Witness.
hanging 5 feet above the floor.
Witness can jump.
Or I'm sorry, the one in the middle here is 5 feet off the floor.
Ah, get him, Witness. Yes, Witness. Continue your assault.
Go, Witness, go.
Might as well jump.
Nice.
Wait, which one was this against?
This fellow in the middle.
Oh,
Who's
okay.
Closer to the floor.
Okay, so none of them are actually on the floor. They're just like in the webbing.
Witness
Yeah,
is
that
just like
one's-
burrowing up through the webbing. Knock, 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 knock. That's the sound a badger makes as it burrows through webbing, by the way.
Yeah, more or less.
That is a great sound. And the spider is a little preoccupied with avoiding what the pointy-eared one is shooting down the way. He tried to lock that one up. Obviously, that wasn't the right target. He clearly should have chosen the giant badger to shoot a web at. Briseus.
She's gonna scoot. She's gonna make her way over. Go for some smacking, hopefully.
That is good. That is a good, clean longswording. There's no webbing around that.
And that's it for the moment. No bonus
All
action
right.
right now.
As Cloud's warning of a nasty, scary spider comes down, either unheeded or unheard by Briseus. It comes down to the ground and lands. And it lands right next to Briseus. But it turns and it looks back at the giant monster cat that just appeared from a small cat, and has absolutely no interest in dealing with that at all. So, yeah, it's clearly its arch nemesis. It just grew. It's
Against me?
inside. Yep.
Okay.
Against Cloud.
The bite is a hit, and the second leg is a hit.
As it lands on the ground, there's an audible and even a little bit rune shaking of a thump. As when it hits the ground, you realize that those legs are actually metal.
Oh, that's fun. So I have to make a con save on the bite.
Yes, so it's gonna be con save on the bite.
Okay. Con save. Oh, of course not.
as its venom
Um,
just bleeds into you.
Yeah, that's
You
fine.
actually feel like a little, not like you're used to. Like you've been bitten by a spider, at least that's just like a nice nauseous feeling.
Okay, so they're fine. I think I glitched out for a second there. I lost some connection.
Same.
I think it was me.
Oh,
Yeah.
somebody did. Well, it took a long time for my die to roll in the game too. So
Yeah.
Okay, so 26, 31 damage. Ooh, woof. Okay, so clears up my last 2 temporary hit points. So that's 29. After that, puts me down to 18.
Yeah, and Bryce, as you can see, as it bites into Cloud, you can see that kind of prototypical undead kind of drain coming through its mouth. Still, also, I'm gonna reconnect real quick. And I don't know if that's going to come through any better, but I'm hoping so. As Bryce says, you are dealing with
I think he was better before he disconnected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you broke up really bad.
Yep. Yep, I think they're dead.
That's a bummer.
All
I
right.
was just starting to
Can you
like it,
guys hear
too.
me? Bueller?
Mm.
Hello?
You're
Ooh,
breaking up a little, but we
staticky
can
too.
still hear you.
Yeah. You're still a robot.
Yeah. I mean, assuming you're on the same connection, that probably makes sense.
Yeah, although I have a husband-wife couple that play in a game I run, and they sometimes the wife will lose connection, but the husband is fine.
That's
And
weird.
they're like sitting.
Is
5
one of
feet
them
apart.
running wireless versus wired?
No, they're both plugged in. I don't understand. They must have like a bad wire or something.
Hmm.
That's all I can think of.
Is that little green arrow indicating a giant spider is biting Briseis? I think it might be.
I'm
That seems.
trying to-
No.
Yeah, he said Briseis, and then he turned into a weird robot man, and now
Nope.
the attacks are being rolled.
Yes, that is what
so
is
yes,
happening.
that is a miss on Briseis. So we're trying a new game called Mute DM.
The players
It's gonna
do all
be
the
great.
narration.
So on Dwayne, however, look, spiders. Firebolt to this fellow right here. I'm good at this. This is my only skill.
On which one? The nasty one?
Oh, yeah!
Oh,
my God.
Ah.
I'm good at this.
This
This
is
is
my
my
own-
only skill, he says.
As he-
I was fibbing. I also run away well.
Cool. That worked out like that.
Ah, yes.
Two.
Dear. So, well, I'll leave them to you then. Witness, you do chew on them. And that'll be it for me.
Hear you guys, and you come.
I heard like the beginning of
Yeah,
that.
I heard
sentence.
like 2 words.
Yeah, like I can hear you guys, and then
Yep.
nothing else.
Yep.
All right, so it's the
Okay.
giant spider
The
up
spider
there
on Briseis?
on Briseis.
Okay. Okay.
That's a distance, so I think that's a web attack. I don't know what a D6 for 2 is.
Maybe he's
Could be
deciding
anything.
between Briseis or Witness.
No, not Witness. Not Witness!
Witness is on his last legs there, ain't he?
Briseis.
Oh,
Okay.
Briseis,
Briseis.
yes.
Okay.
Wait, why am I being happy about this?
Because you're far more attached to Witness than you are to any real people.
Just hit.
That's not good.
DC 11 con save.
I'm going.
Wait, 18 gets you, though?
Yeah, just getting.
Oh, nice. Made the con save.
Good con.
That's good.
So half of the poison damage. So 2 points of poison, so 8 points total.
Yes. Where's Kyle like to hit people in the shoulder, right? So the
All right,
spider
yep.
definitely bit her in the shoulder.
I agree.
And it's not like that good nauseous feeling. This is the bad nauseous feeling.
This is ow, it hurts.
Cloud, looks like you're up.
Yep. Okay, first things first. Before anything else, I'm going as a bonus action. I'm going to spend a key point to kick in patient defense. So be dodge until the end of my turn, and then I'm going to spend my wholeness of body. And I kind of like close my eyes and for a second and focus and try to force this poison out of me. And I get 18 hit points back.
Dang.
So yep, but I can only do that once. So, but I am defending until the end of here. I'll do that because I'm wobbly.
Giant sword spider in front of you. 8 legs. Got metal legs. Better not punch it.
Well,
Anything?
it was less that I was worried about that and worried about dying in a turn. So, although, I mean, yeah, I don't have any more actions I can take because I spent my action for wholeness of body.
No, and it looks at you, and it's like, what? Why? Kind of quizzically, and then kind of cocks its head to the side. Felon. There's
Okay.
there's one spider, ground based, that's attacking Briseus. There's one spider that's still kind of floating in the air. Also, looks like it's munching on Briseus, and there's a metal-legged, undead-looking mega spider that's having a gargantuan battle with Cloud.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to here, and it's time to bring the big guns. So we're gonna pop out Spirit Guardians.
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
fun times.
So that is thing. I'll roll it once just so it's on the screen. But it's not going to take effect until their turn. I'll put a little thing on there for you so you can see it. 15 feet from me. I'll make it good bright green. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to bonus action move the spiritual weapon. It was like right here, and I'm going to move it over to there, or just I guess to there or there. I'm going to move it so I can hit Mecha Spider. Is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to smack him with it.
Are
no,
you?
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not going to smack him with it.
I see that you subscribe to the Dwale class of accuracy.
Apparently. But that is my turn.
Good job, Phil, and you caught on to my plan to build a false sense of confidence amongst them.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm sure
I
that
did.
that is exactly what Witness is thinking about.
Witness is all about it as he attacks.
I'm sorry, I'm rolling the attacks for you.
That's okay.
I kept forgetting that we gave you public access to that.
Did they hit? If not, I'd like to re-roll them.
Oh, well, obviously, I really did forget about that step. But Witness is definitely the workhorse of this group right now.
He's the favorite.
Work Badger? As the one that's just floating in the air, looks like it gets taken, like it gets bitten into on the inside and then loses its webbing and just falls on top of Witness.
He's a load-bearing badger.
Bryce,
You're certainly carrying this team. So
you've got a flattened badger. You've got 8 swords and a regular spider right next to you. I mean,
Well,
regular giant spider.
the unregular spider has her attention. She just got bit by the other one, and she just kind of like punches it off her shoulder and like swings around to take the long sword swipe at Big Ugly.
Yeah, that's gonna do it.
Big Ugly? And she is going to bring back her spiritual weapon, plop it here, and also swing it at Big Ugly. On my list there. Hopefully maybe hit. Doubtful.
No, it actually just seems to
Ding!
put up one of its sword legs and kind of just parry it. As one would expect from someone who's trained in fighting. Wisdom save. Give me some damage.
Yeah, that's not gonna do it.
As
17 damage.
as these floating objects start crashing into, and it's trying to do all the things that it's used to doing, webbing, dodging it, getting around it. None of it makes sense,
It's because they can't read.
and that might be true, but it does conceptualize what is happening. Still, looks at its nemesis that has wildly appeared in front of it. Still gonna make those attacks.
Oh,
Oh, no.
buddy. Wait, on me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
On Cloud.
Well, only with a disadvantage, only
Yeah,
the
it's just the
bite
bite.
hits. Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. I forgot you did that.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
a good call.
that is so good call.
Yeah, only the bite hits. So con save. Much better.
Nice.
So 14 points of damage. That's
Reasonable.
yeah. I mean, it's not great, but it's better than I was after that last attack. I'm still above where I was after his last hit.
And where it is right now, its eyes up Briseus. Looks at what Felon has floating around him, and just starts walking away.
I think
Hold on.
Yeah.
Attack of opportunity.
trip it. Sure, it's not immune to that.
Ugh. Seriously, everyone's rolling. Everyone has been rolling a 1 at least once today.
I don't think I have.
Best friends.
It just means you do.
Yeah, it's coming up.
And then it actually, what it does is it moves up onto the ceiling 30 feet.
Does it move out of my range too
Yes,
then?
it does.
All right. 14? Probably not.
That'll definitely do it.
Oh, okay.
As you manage to kind of weave in between the blades as it's trying to run up the wall.
So I'll take 12 points of damage on that.
Nice. Extra D4 is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Get some crits on that. Get that double up.
Yeah.
Kind of trying to evade this stupid holy magic that's going on. It climbs up the wall. This spider is dead. Dwayne, you have successfully ran back down the hallway.
Yes, but I'm actually positioning myself to have an advantageous shot on this fellow right here. An advantageous shot indeed, without advantage.
Through all of those people.
I am a sniper for a reason, good sir, and it's not a very good reason. Continue assaulting him, witness. And that'll be it for me.
Yep, you definitely successfully thread it right in between Felon and Briseus and the dead corpse that is holding your badger, and right in between both of the legs that are currently closer towards Briseus as well. Perfect threading.
It was intended to rattle him.
That's why they call me the tailor.
Is the spider doesn't actually see the badger underneath the other dead spider.
Wisdom. Wisdom.
Yeah, he's got to make
Wisdom.
a spirit
Oh.
guardians. That's not
No,
enough.
that's not enough.
12 radiant damage.
Feel the pain of a horde of vampire spawn.
And maybe it does. It's going to take an attack at Briseus,
Nope.
being there, and it also, glancing up at the ceiling as well, it also climbs the wall and climbs up 30 feet.
Get him, Badger. Yeah, Badger.
Yeah,
he's
right.
dead.
Badger,
You
go.
witness.
dead for sure. You can't escape that damage. It's impossible. You could never live through that.
It does nip him as
Yes.
Mr. Spider is heading up the side, but just shakes its leg off and calls it a day.
Heard spider legs are a delicacy.
Cloud,
Yep.
you've seen your defense be relatively effective against
yeah. Thank
Mr.
goodness.
Spider guy, and then they both just climb the ceiling.
So you said it went 30 feet up?
Yes.
Okay.
Just reaches up and pokes him.
Well, no, it's actually out of my reach. Even if I fully extended my staff, it's probably still 6 or 7 feet past that. However, I do have a climb speed, so I'm gonna
You take
Kind of-
up a lot
I'm
more
not-
room now.
yeah, I'm gonna kind of choke the staff up a little bit in one hand, and I'm gonna sink my feet and one hand into the side of the wall, and basically I'm going to climb up like 10, 15 feet until I'm within range, and then just start swinging at it with one hand. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Just want to check. All right.
Absolutely.
Two regular attacks. So the second one probably hits.
Second one's good to go.
And so for 10 points of damage on that one. Still up.
Grab it and pull it down.
Yeah, I mean, probably that might have been a smarter move to attempt to grapple or something, but
Rodeo grapple.
well, if it took its movement to drop down 30 feet, I'm so torn. Because I could spend a key point and throw Flurry of Blows in on it and maybe take it out. Or at least do more damage to it. No, they have to be unarmed strikes, though. Because I'm just thinking, if I drop back down to the ground, they have to come back down to us, but they're probably trying to get away now. All right, I'm just going to take my regular bonus action attack. No. I probably should dodge again. Oh, I'm so torn. No, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna drop back down to the ground and then just kind of fall back over here to where the group is a little bit. And I'm just kind of bracing myself for if it happens to drop down from the ceiling. I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna spend a key point for patient defense again.
All right. As the Source Spider just kind of looks on, as it climbed up the wall, and then you chased it up after, which it couldn't even conceive of before, and then you fall back down and fall into a defensive stance that kind of again cocks its head to the side, but to the other side this time. Felon.
Alrighty. Could I get my spiritual weapon up enough to hit either of these ones? Preferably this guy, but
I mean, they're 30 feet up.
How far can you move in a turn?
I think it's 20.
But how high off the ground are they? Because they're not sitting on the ground. That was going to be my question.
Yeah, like that was my question. Is like them on the ceiling? Are they 30 feet? It has to move 30 feet to get to them, or
I mean, I imagine giant spiders are only at the lowest point that they're dangling is only like 5 feet off the ceiling.
uh-huh. Okay.
So, I mean, I don't see that, but
Okay. All right. So then I'm gonna move it 15 feet into the air. Not all the way. It's not as far as it can move. Just 15 feet. As my bonus action, and then I'm going to take a step. No, I don't want to get any closer. I'm close enough as it is. And then I'm going to guiding bolt the big one, the nasty one. I'm not going to do it at level 3 this time. It's just going to be level 19. Does that hit?
I don't know why they call it guiding bolt. They should call it guided bolt.
Because it guides the next attack. You see?
Yeah, but
Yeah, the next person to hit it gets advantage.
You keep missing the next attack.
There's not going to be a next attack.
It's just a guide. It's not a guaranteed bolt.
Yeah, 12 damage against that bad boy, the sword guy.
Yeah, and it leaves a nice little tracer streak behind it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, freeing it up a little bit. Witness, I'm assuming really wants to do what you asked it to do. Asked her or him?
Witness, I think, is male.
Okay.
I haven't checked though.
I
I just assume he's got a dignified face.
You're right. Women can't be dignified.
Well, he's got like that gray near the ears.
Mhm.
Distinguished. Distinguished is the word I wanted. I'm just gonna dig myself a giant hole and jump in.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Woo! Ready
You want to?
Whee!
You want to? I can bring that beholder back. He can shoot some disintegration rays in the ground for you.
That'd be awesome. You know what? He can burrow 10 feet. Witness, dig me my hole. I'm jumping in.
So he really wants to, and he's going to. If any of them come down.
So, the only thing that Briseis has that can hit is the Sacred Flame, and she is shooting it up at the big metal dude.
It seems to kind of understand what's going on when you guys make the same kind of motions, because I imagine there's some similarities with how Sacred Flame is generally cast. Seems to have that number pretty well down.
I guess. I guess just stay and wait to see if it comes back.
All right. And then seeing this level and this rate that you guys are being aggressive towards it. Bye. And you see it take off down the hallway on the ceiling, and with accompanied by the clack, 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 clack. That you are expecting from it. The spider over here, however, well, not knowing what else to do, shoots a web at the largest cat in the room.
Sure. No.
And then takes off 30 feet towards the back. Twill, you see, yeah, you'd actually probably be able to see that even though it's on the ceiling. You see a spider just hanging out towards that back of that room.
Oh no, quite dark.
Indeed.
I only get to 60. So we've destroyed them all, have we?
Not really. They seem to be taking off.
Ah, blast. Well, if you see them
We
come
need
back,
to
let me
find
know.
the dead one.
The dead one?
That metal one.
Oh, is that what you were fighting? I couldn't see it. There was a wall in the way.
Yes, it's made of metal and also apparently undead. We need to do something about that.
Well, of course. Lead on. Badger, go.
And Witness has received your Badger Go command. All right. Anything else from you in this round, Phil? Twill?
Nope. Technically held action if a spider shows up, firebolt it, but
Gotta get that light first. I got you.
Yep.
Cloud.
Yep. Can I see the one that scared off across the ceiling, the bad one?
You cannot see it, but you can see down the hallway.
Okay. So I interpret to Bryce, so we're going after that one?
Yes.
Fine. 10, 20. Can I see it yet?
No. Hold on, sorry.
It's okay.
There you go. I'm getting the ruler tool. Nope.
30, 40.
All right. And then it would be at that point that you would be able to see it. Still on the rooftop.
Okay. There it is. Okay. How far? You said it's 30 feet up? Well, from 30
the
feet to the
hallway
ceiling.
comes down at this point.
Okay.
So it
yeah.
looks like it's just running on the ceiling more out of convenience.
Right. How high is the ceiling in this area?
It's about 10.
Oh, okay. So I'm probably gonna have to start ducking then. So what I said, it was 40 to here. Let me move to there so I can get a clear shot on it. Yeah, 20 feet. And I'm going to wing 2 oversized darts at it. I assume the 20 hits.
Yeah, that'll be good. As you take off flying down the hall.
For 9 points.
Yeah. So you guys, so the rest of the party just sees giant lumbering cloud kind of
Found it.
shrink down a little bit, like hunch his shoulders, start barreling through.
Oh, I can turn off my.
Felon.
All right, he says it's down there. I believe him. I'm gonna try to kill off this one first, though. So I'm gonna move to here. Bonus action. I'm gonna move my show up at 20 feet that way. Start its long journey. And then I'm going to Sacred Flame that guy. Yeah, he's still in range. Aha! Oh, that was good damage too.
Dang.
Yeah.
oh, there it is.
Got that max Sacred Flame.
Yeah, that's some good stuff right there. That's the spicy stuff. All right, so excellent. So then I guess I'm just going to keep running then. I'm used 15 feet of movement. Yes, so I got another 20, so I move 20 feet to there. And that is my turn.
All right. Witness. Gonna take off running. Briseis.
Where's Briseis? She's going to this guy over here. He's gonna get go. Run her. And that's all she could do. Say charge!
I don't know. What did I just not catch?
Briseis charge.
Briseis charged up and moved
Ah.
the spiritual weapon.
Okay. Dash action.
But she did it like a Power Ranger special move.
So you see him running on the ceiling. And then he runs out of sight. Which brings us to Doyle.
Oh, is that where we're going now? I thought it was over there. We'll actually make that the full dash to 60, 22, 28. Oh. Hello.
Side by
Oh.
side with Briseis.
Yes, well, still behind witness. That's the important part. Always maintain a second or third or possibly back row vantage. And that's it for me.
All right. That's going to bring us up to Cloud.
Okay, so I can see to about here. So actually, if he's got light, that would probably be night pricey for them. But looking up to around here, where the last place I saw it at, are the ceilings getting consistently lower, or like is it still like the same roughly like 10-foot clearance?
So there's it has been the spiders remained at about the same height as it was running down the hall. Sometimes it would dip up.
Right. My
And
concern
then
is just
back
more.
down.
My concern is how much headroom do I have?
10 to 20 feet on average. It's not difficult terrain. It's
Okay.
just tight.
Okay, it was just more concerned. Like, am I going to have to like get down and crouch to get through like these tunnels at any point? Because, with like a 13-foot clearance. All right. Excuse me. Pardon me.
Nope.
And
Of course.
I'm going to. So it's 50 feet to there. I'm going to kick in feline agility. 50 feet.
And as you go over the pile of stuff in the center,
Oh God.
you just hear a thick clunk, and then a grinding sound from far
no.
away.
Oh no.
But you don't see anything move.
Uh-oh, Piscatios.
Oh boy. All right. Well, getting up to this point, do I see anything around the corner? Like, where does my vision open up to?
So you see this room open up. It is a relatively large room. The ceiling doesn't increase in size,
Okay.
but it does still have those same type of random little bit
Sure.
deeper
Sure.
holes in the ground.
I guess to move to here would be 55. I'm trying to get an eyeball from where I saw it, cutting around this corner and heading down.
So you don't quite see it anymore.
Okay.
You see a lot of dust kind of just rising up. You see a lot of pebbling as well.
All right. So if I get to 55, if I get to here, if I don't see it at 60, it's kind of a waste of my movement. But I mean, I need to wait for the rest of the group to catch up anyway. So, yeah, if moving to here, if I don't see it anywhere in my visual range, I'll stop and wait for the rest of the group, I guess.
All right. Well, that brings us to Felon.
All right. I guess Felon's going to be running. To there. And he uses spiritual weapon another 20 feet to there. It's coming eventually.
I feel like it's one of those automated shopping carts at the grocery store that get driven around.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's about the speed it goes.
Yeah, but other than that, that's all I can really do.
Witness.
What? He continues running along in that direction.
That was great.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a confusion as to why I was making that noise to other people in the room.
So as a witness also rushes down the room, he doesn't sense the presence of anything either. Bryceus, you've seen Cloud run down the hall. Not as far as you've seen him regularly run and then stop.
Mhm.
How do you feel about that?
Think you found something. And she's going to continue her run. Come up behind him. Do you see it? Trying to look around him. He's generally sort of filling that whole area, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he is a very large cat right now. Dwell.
Did no one else hear that thunk noise? He sort
Oh,
of
I heard
moves-
it.
He sort of moves forward to about here and then takes his staff and starts investigating and looking about to see if he can discover what the thunk might have been, and thinking back on where he heard the kerchunk sound, what that may have entailed.
Yeah, go ahead and roll investigation.
Maybe?
So with a 13, you start poking your staff around, and it looking closer, because everybody else seemed to kind of just breeze past it and go, ugh, and then run past. You are taking a little more time. You see just a bunch of bones. You don't even see ones that would complete a whole one skeleton, but it looks like there's a number of dead things that were once in here. And upon poking, you don't hear any other clunking or grinding sounds like you kind of thought you heard before. And with a 13, you're not quite sure, but you know it's not good. You don't see anything going on around you, though.
When I make this into my sanctum and have her retile it with that fine and very sharp tile, I must remember to ask about this. And that's it.
Okay. Cloud.
Oh boy.
They're
Okay.
behind you now.
Yep. Well, yeah, since I am taking up quite a bit of space here. So gonna squeeze through here. 5, 15. 20. Still scanning the walls and the ceiling for the spider.
Gonna reveal some areas.
All right, so as you step into the room, you notice that the ceilings pop back up to that 30 feet that you guys had
Okay.
previously known. So you kind of stretch out a little bit. You notice right in front of you is a, not a large pond, but a sizable one. Pretty still water, very dark and murky. There's some stones both in front and behind it. And you also notice over to the left, there's a big grouping of the same kind of mushrooms that you saw previously. You don't hear or see anything else really going on, though. You don't see any light either. It's, beyond your vision. It's very dark.
All right. 20. Just gonna kind of move over to hug the wall over here to open things up a bit. Kind of staying a little clear of the pond of the mushroom. And I guess for my action, I'll just prepare dodge. Or not prepare dodge, but like I'll throw dodge up.
Okay. Felon. Giant cloud has entered the room.
And he's not dead yet.
Yep.
So that's
And I'll give a little call back, and I'm like, I seem to have lost it. I don't see it anywhere.
okay. So go into the room. We're gonna go to there and say, "Ha! It is weird." Oh, bonus action, moving that spiritual weapon another 20 feet, and
We'll
then
get there eventually.
it'll get there eventually. And going. It's a troubling question to ask. And then I'm going to look around to see where this thing might have gone, because it seems to have disappeared. I'll make sure I look up as well. I don't know if that's perception or investigation, whichever. I'm not sure.
Well, go ahead. And if you're talking immediate threat, you're talking perception. If you're trying to figure out what its walking patterns are, and how it moves, and where it would most likely go, give me investigation.
All right. I'm just going to look. I'm looking for anything that just seems unusual or stands out, or if it's hiding on the ceiling about to kill us.
Okay, perception.
11.
You are killing it today.
Yeah, I am.
And that's what you're thinking as you look around the room.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm killing it.
But, all right. Well, that is my turn.
All right. Sorry. I was already planning on Badger move. Well, that's your responsibility.
Nope.
Going up to the water and sniffing it, nothing crawls out and, greets Badger. Smells okay.
Spiritual weapon is also scooting along. In the event she needs it, come in. She's looking at the ceiling, and she's gonna do the survival to see if she could see the scratching on this, because it's made of metal that should probably leave some sort of scrape marks. Guessing.
Yeah, looking up, you see something kind of right above the pond, but beyond that, you're not quite sure. But it looks like it could be scraping.
There was something over the pond.
Sorry, I should clarify. That is not a heard sound.
Dwayne hoofing it. Is that a bead of sweat, Dwayne?
No, it's a drop of moisture that fell from the
He's not
ceiling.
sweating. He's glistening.
Paft. Gets a little cleaner. That'll be it. Just run it up.
All right, and as we come back to the top of the order, if everybody could give me a wisdom save, please.
Oh, fuck.
Not a problem. Okay, actually, it wasn't a problem. I was worried I was going to roll one.
Possible problems for the rest of us.
All right. So as you guys all come into the room together, including poor little witness who seems very distracted by by both the water and the thing behind him, and Dwayne, you are awfully distracted by that rather delicious looking mushroom that is over in the corner. You've never really been a fan of mushrooms, I don't think, but this one looks pretty tasty.
You know what would go well right now? Some mushrooms, a little wine, crackers, cheese, not being in a damn dirty hole, but at least I have mushrooms.
And we're going to go ahead and drop initiative.
Okay.
Mostly because there was no excessive barreling
Bad things are about to happen again.
after select duck and run spiders. And I think we'll go ahead and break here because it's actually break time.
Ooh, I suppose that makes sense. If
I'll go get my
call
cheese, my
sort of
crackers,
logical.
my wine,
Oh boy.
Your
I do need
delicious
food, yes, good
mushrooms.
call.
my delicious mushrooms.
I will be right back.
Yes, me too.
Yay, musical!
Yay, musical. Hello.
Also, hi. Also, tip tip huzzah. Nobody got disintegrated.
Yeah.
Was legitimately concerned about that.
I mean, I almost did. If I had rolled slightly less, Felon would be gone. Because when you reach zero, when you get dropped to zero by disintegrate, you're just disintegrated, and that's it. Game over, man.
We just have to get disintegrated.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Undisintegrated?
I imagine that's kind of the collective sigh that happens, like literally right now in game.
Certainly feels like it to me. Now that Spider's gone, and who knows where it went, and it sounded spooky.
So while we are going into the next part of here, I just want to say again on stream, thank you all followers.
Oh, are you streaming yet? I got black screen.
Click Alt Tab.
It might be me.
Yeah, no, I see us as good.
Okay, and then I'm just an idiot and I don't know how the buttons work.
I mean, that's entirely possible.
You know what? I apologize. That was a really good dramatic moment, and I just ruined it for you.
Nah, it's fine. I'm good. But yeah, thanks, followers. Everybody who's contributed. Yes. Also, thank you, Casey.
Oh, I didn't do nothing.
We appreciate the short feedback loops and all the tweets. Rob, thank you for hosting. Athy, thank you for having friends who are also at some point watching here. I thought I saw at least one or two of them on.
Ooh, on that note, as we're throwing thanks out there, a quick thanks to the Terminally Nerdy crew. I saw a bunch of you hop on and join and really appreciate it because you gave us that last couple of hits and we got our song.
Yes, indeed. That was real fast, too.
And Sean, thank you for not getting disintegrated. That would have been a nightmare to figure out what happened.
Well, I mean, the immediate effects would have been very simple.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
But then, who would be available to lick this delicious-looking mushroom that's in this room?
Well, apparently.
I mean, Dwayne seems the most. Felon is less interested in the mushroom and is currently trying to figure out where the hell the spider went.
I have been training under Phelan's tutelage for several days now.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, this is what needs to happen. My magical career cannot possibly advance without me at least sampling a bit of these mushrooms.
Yeah, it's almost overpowering as you and Witness both like kind of turn slowly towards the mushroom and then towards each other. And Witness has a nice long dribble of drool. And you kind of get closer, and there's a bunch of little mushrooms and almost like a thin layer of fungus on the floor around them, and then two giant mushrooms, bigger than your head, are kind of growing out of the corner in the middle of the whole pile. Cloud, you are still a giant cat in a small dungeon.
I am.
Searching for your spider prey that you can't really find anymore. Bryceus, you were the closest by kind of looking up on the ceiling above the pond pool thing that's in front of you. And you saw some scratches. You're getting the general feeling that perhaps it took off. Just beyond the pond, you see some of the rocks that you see right next to you So you're wondering if maybe down that hallway, but there also is a hallway up north. So you're just not quite sure, but it looked like the tracks were heading towards the rocks.
So Dwayne sets a little cloth down on the ground, sits down on it cross-legged, takes out his little silver knife and fork, and starts slicing off pieces of mushroom and arranging them in front of him.
Dwayne, if we're breaking for a rest, we have provisions.
Oh yes, I'm sure these will supplement them well. These look fantastic, and he puts it on a fork and goes to place it on his tongue. I've put up with enough of yours. Allow me to enjoy some finery. What?
All right, go ahead. No, you made a good point. I have certainly licked enough things. Noticeably, I'm still fine, but I've certainly licked enough things. So this is yours, Dwayne. This is your chance.
As you greedily shove them.
Belatedly, like, notices this going on. It's just like,
no. Badger just took the other of the two mushrooms and just leapt up and dove straight down at it with his mouth open. Just nom, 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 nom.
All right, so I'm going to assume Badger kind of beat you to the punch by at least a couple of seconds. So Badger jumps in, takes a big drooly bite of one of the big mushrooms, and you see him kind of like freeze for a second. And if you guys have ever seen a cat get brain freeze, that's kind of what he looks like. Like his mouth freezes open for a second and his eyes stare off into space, and then he comes back and he just keeps kind of chomping on the mushroom. Dwayne, you're finally getting a clue as to what Badger was feeling just a second ago as you're chewing the very, strangely crunchy, strangely moist. It's got a very weird texture to it. And as you're chewing it, you get a brief flash of what looks like levers, the strange shaped knobs on top of levers, and there's a giant person in dark clothing, dark armor, you're not sure. Somebody hunched over these levers, just kind of pulling them and pushing them. And they, you get brief flashes of something in their hand, shiny, smaller. And then you get a flash of the levers again. And then you get a flash of a cart or a seat or a pallet. You're not quite sure. Something wooden and square shaped almost.
Well, you've got to try these. They've got a subtle oakiness, a little nuttiness, a bit of prophecy about them. Oh, it's delicious.
Can
You're
you
not dead?
give me a con save as well?
Oh, why, of course I will. I'm really good at these, he mockingly says.
You and Badger exchange looks like and rub your tummies at each other.
Yeah. Phelan, you want to go for a slice that takes a section off the cap? The stalk a little stringy, but the cap.
Alright, well, I guess it seems to be okay. I go over and I pick up one of the. I break a piece off of the cap and I pop it in my mouth and eat it.
Oh, Phelan, utensils.
Mushrooms are finger food.
That's how you've always eaten and licked everything you've ever come across. You start getting similar brief flashes, but you get almost from like a higher vantage point almost, and you see the person not hunched over anymore, but instead standing up a little straighter and pointing, and the armor looks very familiar to you.
Does it look very familiar, Sid?
It's very pointy.
Yeah, it's very. Okay. All right. Someone's gonna come back and say, "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear."
So this is just what we're doing now.
No, it showed it the spiky armor. It showed them working some sort of controls of something. I'm not sure what, but
See, I
they
think
were
that was
there.
I think that was the hint of complexity to it. The
Okay,
levers.
no, I think it
And
makes you. I think it makes
spiky
you
little-
hallucinate. I don't think it has anything to do with the flavor profile or the mouthfeel, Dwale.
Oh,
Just giant cloud standing over it, like looking down at these two as they sit next to this mushroom cluster, just like slowly shaking his head.
But
Felon. The giant cloud standing next to me is obviously proof that we're not hallucinating.
right. Look, okay, here's what we'll do. Fellow pulls out a jar and slices off with his dagger, slices off a piece of mushroom and sticks it in the jar, closes it, sticks it back in his bag. It's like, we'll investigate this later. But for now, we really should stop eating mushrooms. You shouldn't just pick things up off the ground and eat them, Dwale. It's bad for you.
I didn't pick them up off the ground. They took the time to grow out of the ground for me so I could pluck them from slightly above the ground where all good things come from.
Right. Regardless, my point stands. Also, we should find out where that giant spider went.
Hmm.
I'll turn towards Perseus. Did you notice anything while these two were stopping for lunch?
I saw some scratches on the ceiling, and she points down here. I think they're headed that way.
Is she breaking up for anybody else?
Yeah,
or is it just
she's
me?
really quiet.
Is that better?
Oh, that's much
Yes.
better.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
sorry. She's gonna point down this way. Say, I saw some scraping on the ceiling. I think it went this way. And gestures.
Good to know.
Are you two feeling all right?
I feel fine. Why?
Doyle's just sitting there, like carving off slices of the mushroom, making a little pile on a piece of cloth he has in his hand.
Badger's
Under
rolling
it.
around in it now too, kind of like a cat in catnip. He's just rubbing himself into all the fungus on the floor. I don't hear her again, but all I hear are general groans of uncomfortable.
you usually like clean things. You know, don't you think this is a little bit weird?
And Doyle looks down what he's done, which is basically slice the mushroom, slice off the top and the sides, and he's got the little piece. Well, I always think the way Felon eats is weird, but it's a mushroom. It's the core of the mushroom.
Oh my goodness.
He looks down and, oh, you mean him? as Witness is just like,
He's making that sound too. That sound, that happy sound as he's grinding his back into the fungus.
well, we won't eat that part, obviously.
Very.
But if you wish to go on, we can go along to.
What was that? Could you repeat that, Noel, please? I didn't quite catch it.
I'm dying. Let's proceed.
I'm just gonna tuck in and try to squeeze down this passageway, keeping my eyes at the ceiling level.
Yeah, as you're going, the ceiling level stays pretty much similar. It's about 20 feet, so you're not crouched too low. It just starts to get a little tighter. You see a lot of rocks, boulders almost. They're in between the two, litter the whole space. And as you get closer, you see what look to be tracks.
Like for like a minecart kind of a thing.
Yeah, you're guessing they look very similar to the mines that you guys were exploring in
And they just extend on off into the darkness, I assume.
Yes, yeah, they do. You don't see too much far behind it, but you can tell that at that cutoff point there is a opening that you can't quite see the end of. And in front, at the very start, there is what looks to be like a 8-foot flat piece of wood. On this, it has 3 sides to it. The front of it is open, and on the front area of this, cart or platform or something, there are 3 very tall levers with bulbous tops.
This sounds familiar. Are these the levers that we saw the spiky person doing?
I mean, you did see levers. You did see, like, bulbiness to them, but without getting any closer, you can't be sure.
I'm gonna go up inspect those levers. Excuse me, Cloud. Pardon me. Just pardon. Oh, you're very soft. Excellent. Thank you. And sort of clambers past him to inspect the levers.
All right. Inappropriately crawling past Cloud, you inspect the levers and see there's 3 on the very front of the cart. There's 3 levers, all of which are upright, and on the very top of them is a metal ball, on the top of which is a tear shape. And there are 3 levers. One of the tear shapes has a small hole in the center of it.
Like there's something missing. Something bright and shiny that was giving off a little bit of light. Okay, Felon is going to reach out and he's going to push that lever that's got the hole in it, the missing piece.
You do that, and the cart kind of wiggles a little bit, but nothing else happens.
It seems to be missing its power source. Interesting.
Oh, Felon.
Yes.
What do you call a vision of the future that comes true?
I believe that would be a prophecy, Dwale.
So, those hint of prophecy that I sensed about the mushrooms, a little in the tooth there. Why would you call that a hallucination?
Well, I mean, it's a hallucination if you see something that's not there. It did make us hallucinate. Just because the hallucination is true doesn't mean it's not a hallucination. Excellent, well-reasoned debate, Dwale. I can see my point. But I mean, I don't. Unless one of you has a large, sparkly, shiny power source that will fit in here, I don't know if this will do anything. Here, let me try. And then I try to maneuver the other levers and see what happens.
The other 2 don't move. You push on them and they don't move.
So it's like you got to activate the middle one, and then the other ones will do stuff. I see. Okay. Well, I don't.
Thinking back on the prophetic vision, what color was the sparkle?
Well, as you were, suckling and picking at your teeth to get that little piece of mushroom out of there, you got a bright flash of green in your vision.
Felon.
Yes.
Would you say those necromantic rocks were power sources?
Ooh, Dwale. Ooh, what a good idea.
That's never a good idea.
Oh, that's always a good idea.
Felon reaches in and pulls out some gloves, puts them on, and then he reaches into the bag. And he goes down to the deep part of his bag where he wrapped up the nasty one, and he pulls it out and he carefully unwraps. Well, actually, first he's not gonna do that. He's gonna go to the ones that did not attack him first. He's gonna go to the other ones. He's gonna pull out one of the more inert ones and see if he can fit it into the hole in any way.
You're going for... So you have 3. You're going for one of the ones that you didn't wrap up?
Yeah, there was one, if I remember correctly, there was one that was scary and had magic associated with it and tried to attack Felon, and the other 2 did not. So first I'm going to try one of the more inert ones and see if they do anything.
All right, so you place it in there, and it fits very nicely in there. And it kind of like a shopping cart where one of the wheels is working and the other 3 are just stuck and grinding. That's kind of what you get when you push on the cart after that.
Okay, all right. Well, it seems we are on the right track. However, we might need something a bit more volatile. And Felon will take that one out. and then he'll reach deep down into his bag and pull out the one he wrapped and carefully unwrap it. And
Felon.
What?
Before you do that,
Uh-huh.
what do you suppose will happen if you do apply power?
It'll go, I'd imagine.
And which way will it go?
Well, it's on a track, Dwayne, so that way. And he points deeper into the mine.
And where will that leave us?
All right, we'll get in then.
Why don't we just walk?
Because the vision had the man in the spiky armor, or maybe the woman, I'm not sure which, moving the levers.
That doesn't mean we have to do it.
But I feel like it does, right?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Well, right now there's no question for you. We're debating.
Okay, yeah, I'm like, wait, did I miss something?
Witness, come here. Come. I have a mushroom. And he holds up his little slice of mushroom.
He's rolling around, and then he sees that, and he comes bounding towards you.
Up in the cart, witness. He tosses the mushroom in the cart.
He scrambles up over the backside and plops himself in there, and you can hear...
There, at least now we have a test subject. Go on.
Right, but I have to... Oh, okay, just to clarify. The levers, are the levers in the cart, or are they next to the cart, like on the ground?
So facing you, Felon, if you're at the very front of the tracks, which would be the back of the cart, you're imagining the cart faces down towards wherever it goes, and that is where the levers are. There are 3 sides to it, a back and the 2 sides, and then the front is open with the levers.
Okay, so if one was to activate the levers, they'd have to stand inside the cart.
That is correct.
Okay, so I'm going to...
Or
look
in
back
front
at
of
the
it,
levers.
I guess.
Yeah, but that's bad. And say, he can't activate the levers, Dwayne. Here. I'll just, if it starts to go, I'll just make it go slowly. Or bring it back. It's got controls. I should be able to control it. And then if it's important, we bring it along with us, and we can go walking speed, and Dwayne will have a chariot, or whatever.
Ooh, I do like chariots.
I know. So...
We
Felon is
shouldn't
going-
use that stone for anything. We can walk. We don't need to do this.
But we don't know that. It could be a key. Maybe we need to use this to get into someplace.
Briseis, think of it this way. If it exhausts the power in the stone, that's that much less necromancy in the world. I knew you'd see it
Why
that way.
would anyone power a cart with souls or whatever that they, like?
Because they're evil.
No point.
Because they're
Why?
evil, Briseis.
That's why we shouldn't do the same thing they're doing.
Yes, but we're doing it for the best of reasons.
They probably think the same thing.
Well, they're deluded.
But we didn't kill anyone to do it. We just found it. And if it powers the cart, and if the cart is important, then shouldn't we use it? Clearly the vision happened for a reason. The mushroom does not just show something like that without purpose.
The mushroom has a higher...
It could
Dwayne-
be showing
Dwayne
you
was-
what not to do.
Dwayne was drawn to it, and he ate it, and he received a vision of something we know to be important. And I feel like that is too much of a coincidence to just dismiss out of hand.
As you guys are all discussing this, the witness finishes his thing and kind of hangs his 2 paws up the back and pops his head up and looks straight at Dwayne like, and then?
All right. Bryce says, if anything bad happens, I'll take it out and we won't use it.
I just don't feel good about this.
Come on, Briseis, you can sit next to me.
And Felon gets in, and using his gloved hands and his tweezers out of his thieves' tools, he sets the gem in the power the slot.
All right. So who's getting in the cart and who's doing what?
How big is the cart? Is the cart big enough for us to sit in?
Yeah, it's actually pretty spacious. It's like 8 feet long, and about 4 feet wide, 5 feet wide.
Oh, even Cloud could fit on that.
Yeah, part of Cloud could absolutely fit on that. I mean, all of regular Cloud can fit on it.
You have to scrunch, but he's a cat. He's good at scrunching.
He curls up surprisingly small.
Exactly.
If only there was a basket
the
attached.
leg behind the head.
Yeah, do we have a cardboard box you can lay in?
If he fits, he sits.
Exactly.
So much racism.
So it seems like we're climbing onto the cart unless Briseis is still opposed to climbing onto the cart.
She has lots of anxiety about this whole situation, but she's not gonna just leave you guys to go off and be stupid on your own.
I mean, my options are kind of limited based on, if I can fit or not, obviously. But we've probably still got at least another, 3.5 hours of jumbo
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, so Giant Cloud, you're getting the impression that you can fit in there, but not you and everybody else. So there's
Yeah.
going to have to be
We may
some
have to
kind
do-
of lap sitting, all fit in a tiny little,
Oh,
two-door car
know-
kind of situation.
Give me just a moment. I can summon a disc to float along behind us. As long as there's room for Cloud9 in the cart, the other two of you can ride the disc along behind it.
I do not feel comfortable allowing you to control this.
Have you had more training than I? I seem to remember having about the same number of visions and deducing
did-
the use of the...
I have read several manuals on operation of minecarts.
Have you?
Indeed.
Well, I guess I must concede the point.
Out of character, I can give myself proficiency with this thing to make rolls to try to drive it.
Well, of course, that does seem reasonable then. Briseis, shall I sit in your lap then?
Not sure how comfortable I am.
Yes, but you're much less likely to crush me this way.
Whatever works.
All right, we I guess assemble our weird caravan.
Oh, please tell me exactly how that caravan is assembled before we, take off. Who's sitting on who? And Briseis' leg is jabbing who in the what now?
I'm kind of imagining this like a log flume kind of setup where we've probably got Cloud like crammed in the back, and then Briseis in front of him, and then Dwayne in front of Briseis, and then Felon kind of like pressed up against the controls, while the Badger's just sort of like clumped in his face.
His breath smells awesome, Felon.
Excellent.
Oh, he smells like mushrooms. He's delicious.
He's delicious. Do you want to eat with us?
I don't think
Whoa.
it works that way. If he dies, he disappears, so I don't know that I could get him roasted in time.
Badger sushi.
With a little bit of fungus on it.
Yeah.
All right, so
It's good.
so Felon, you are in front by the controls.
Mm-hmm.
What you doing?
I have seen how this is operated before, once, and I could use my last channel divinity to give me a maybe some insight. I have read several manuals on the operation of minecarts as it happens. So maybe I could think back to some of those to maybe get a clue how to operate this better to avoid any potentially dangerous situations we might encounter along the way.
Seems legit.
Well, Felon, I am curious. Your expertise in minecarts
Mhm.
come because of their relation to the pulley system.
Ah, yes. You see, you've stumbled upon the crux of the issue. Pulleys are quite often used in mines. And as such, I was branching out to create a full dissertation. And naturally, you need to touch upon related topics. And the minecart was one of them. So, really, to study the history of the block and tackle, one must also examine the history and the operation of the minecart. Excellent analysis, Dwayne. You get a gold star.
Ah, well, thank you. I do find studying with you entertaining, if not enlightening.
That's good. I like that.
All right, so as you guys are all crammed in there and you and Dwayne are busy complimenting each other, Badger kind of scoots over a little bit as you start to mess with the levers. And yeah, you can figure it out based on, your background with, land vehicles and whatnot, and, the power invested in you by the green stone in your hand. You put that in the spot in the center lever and pull on it, and you guys start slowly crawling forward.
Oh, surely this thing must have another speed. I sort of jam the levers to try to make it go faster.
Oh boy.
You jam those levers, and the cart lurches and then, draws back, almost as if it's weighted down by something.
Oh, I see. This power source was rather drained when I was examining it, and it seems we might have a bit too much on the cart at the moment. I'm sure if it was at full power, it would be moving ore, so it wouldn't be a problem. But
Felon, you chastised me quite extensively for my comments about Perseus earlier. I don't think it's appropriate to bring it up now.
no, I don't think it's Briseus. I think it's the 15-foot tall cat person. I think they're the greater culprit in terms of weight. No offense, Cloud. Normally you're quite slim, but right now you're literally 4 times as large.
Oh no, I'm quite aware of this. Thank you.
So I think we will be walking beside the minecart for the moment, or this will take quite a while. Or we could wait for Cloud to become normal sized.
So as you are chugging right along, slowly but surely, you quickly lose what little light you had from the room behind you, and you pass two.
Oh, good lord! I just did the math. Yeah, no, I weigh like 1,200 pounds now.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of weight.
As you guys crawl past the initial opening, you get about 60 feet past, and you see 2 torches on either side of you.
Lit, I'm assuming.
They also
Can anybody who's looking into the torches, can you roll nature or arcana?
Oh, I see. Maybe is a 14 good enough to see what I think Sean has realized? Or that 30 doesn't matter. That's definitely good enough.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Felon, you're squinting at it, and you're like, those look funny. And Dwayle's like pointing directly at it and is like, yeah, those aren't real lights. Those are will-o-wisps, as you guys creak right on by.
Oh, that's disturbing.
And you
William O-Wisps?
will-o-wisps.
William O-Wisps.
William.
We don't shorten names.
Are they? Do they seem to be making any motions, or are they just sitting there as we slowly creak by?
They're just sitting there,
Okay.
watching, like turning. The light seems to kind of follow you guys in the torches, and then slowly fades into the background as you guys creak your way on down, and you eventually go far enough to where you don't even see that light anymore, and you don't see anything in front of you. It's just darkness all around. You guys are getting the impression that you're going to be here for quite a while.
Like darkness that dark vision cannot see through, or
No, you can see the dirt walls next to you, and you can see that there's something directly in front of the cart from your, peering around the two people in front of you. But you can't really see, like, a light towards the end or a light behind you.
Well, I don't like this. I can see it, but I don't like it. And I'm going to touch the mine cart and cast light on it.
All right, now you see the same things, but a little brighter. And, you're kind of maybe feeling a little claustrophobic because, at least with the darkness, you could imagine that the ceiling was a little higher. It is not.
Yeah, all right, well. Anyone...
Felon,
yes?
do you still have that crossbow on you?
I do, yeah. I pull it out.
And Doyle casts light on one of the crossbow bolts. Do send that off ahead and see how far this goes.
I think it goes quite a while, but sure, not a bad idea. Felon aims it down the passageway and shoots it.
Okay. So you see the tip of the crossbow bolt take off, and you hear something before you actually see something. The light quickly dims as it goes beyond your vision, and then you hear what you imagine is something falling, or a thud, like a dull thud. You no longer see the light.
Seems like it's gone around a corner. It's just too far away. But,
Well,
seems to go for a while.
eventually we'll catch up to it. It should last about an hour. And that'll give us a better judge of the speed.
Exactly. So, did anyone bring any cards, or?
Well, I did bring this wonderful mushroom sampler.
Okay, we're done with the mushrooms for now, Dwayne. I think that was enough hallucinating mushrooms for one day. At least until we get back to the inn.
Well, personally, I'm a bit knackered, so I'm up for a rest.
We are just sitting on this cart, so for the moment, we are literally doing nothing.
Witness, keep an eye out. Doyle just leans back and starts trying to take a nap.
Just as you're settling in for a nap, you guys slowly creak around a corner, and on the ground you see the light lit by the arrow that you had previously sent out.
Okay. Yeah, hit a corner. I snag it out of the wall as we go past, or wherever it is.
Yeah, you think that might look pretty heroic if you weren't going 2 miles an hour and had time to perfectly aim where it was.
Yeah, it looked really cool in Felon's head, though. So that's what's important.
Felon, did you just do that whole thing in slow motion?
No, it was just very well executed. You know what they say: if it looks slow, it means you're going fast.
Who
Right?
says that?
Some people.
Ah.
All right, so quite some time, goes by. You guys are talking about cards. No one has any cards. Badger is kind of sneezing at himself randomly because he's getting a bit of his own fungus in his eyes, and partially on Felon. And Cloud, you're starting to feel less, awesomely large and strong as time goes on, until finally, a few hours goes by of you guys.
Oh, we're in the cart for that long? Jesus.
You eventually start shrinking down.
Oh,
You know what a few hours sounds like to me? That sounds like a short
that
rest.
sounds like a short rest.
sounds like a couple short rests. This back.
Yeah, I would not roll hit dice just yet, but
But why not?
Yeah, well, there's no easy way to say this, but you guys get the impression that you're barely even halfway through this thing. So, you guys, if you want to
It'll
speed
be a
it
long
along,
rest.
you are going to get a long rest. There's a lot more room now that Cloud is regular size, so you guys are kind of able to spread out a little bit and stretch out.
Oh, it's the nicest thing you ever said. That was really low in space.
All right, so as you guys take the benefits of a long rest, you tell me what you guys are all thinking. You've been in this cart now for, going on hours and hours.
Man.
Did you guys, are you thinking anything? Did you guys set up any kind of watch as you realized that, Cloud's small now? Has it been that long?
Briseis will probably at a couple points just sort of be muttering, quote unquote, to herself, but is talking to Lathander and praying, and she will definitely be getting protection from poison because she doesn't trust those mushrooms. Just she's gonna pray for that just in case. She's probably should just always have that with these two. It's probably a good idea to have that spell on hand at all times.
This is
No cards, no books.
This is a really good mushroom. Once the settling in has happened, Dwayne will produce a scroll from one of his pouches and begin reading through it. About an hour later, he finishes up with it, and a small owl appears. Appears. Owl.
Huh. So here's a question. So if we're getting the effects of a long rest, did I still have that buffed maximum hit points going on?
Yes, you do.
Okay. That was, what was it, 10 points?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
I just trying to remember because it's been so long.
It feels like it's probably been so long, but you guys are
Yeah,
probably
it's been like a day or two.
yeah. You remember feeling it right around the time that you sang for your fallen /
true.
kind of
Yeah.
comrade. All right, so Briseis is fervently praying to Lathander and scooting as far away from the sneezing witness as possible. Dwayne, you're reading some of them fancy Sean scrolls that he gave you, and a small
Fancy
owl
scroll.
appears.
Small owl, correct. I had transcribed this scroll, but I didn't have the opportunity to cast it. And now it seems like I won't have a chance to react and do this politely, so I might as well exhaust the scroll and summon my new familiar owl.
Aptly named.
And Briseis will also, when she's done praying, I guess before dozing off, she'll make sure Coral's okay and talk to her and
Yeah, Coral pops out and is like, whoa, and is just kind of looking all around, and then just kind of wipes at your face because you've got all sorts of gook and gok all over it from various, dead zombie beholders and spider guts and other such things.
Other such things.
a bath would be amazing. But
No, don't say that to an elemental, Briseis. They have no concept of anything.
What does that mean?
Elementals, extraplanar beings, what have you. They're not from this realm. They do not have the same requirements we do. A fresh fire elemental. It must be trained not to hug, lest it incinerate you. A water elemental could easily drown you while playing. They have no concept of the frailties of mortal creatures. That's why they must be so strictly controlled. They are dangerous.
She does seem very dangerous. You're right.
So you guys are all pretty close together. Coral was kind of just talking with Briseus, but noticing your tone, Dwayne, and the tone that you always pretty much take, regardless of whether or not she can understand you, she like does a little spittle of water towards your clothing.
Paft.
That's right.
Really?
What do you do like being clean? She's just trying to help. Briseis just smirks at him. Like,
Consider this, Briseis. It appears to have a cheerful, playful nature. It doesn't. It's just a thing, like any other thing. It amused some wizard to give it training on being playful and cute. Probably that fellow interested in the toys and games.
I don't think you're right. It's alive, isn't it?
No.
Well, no. I mean, it kind of is. I mean, by any standard definition of alive, it's definitely alive.
Does it breathe?
Nope.
Does it eat?
That's not how you define alive.
Does it reproduce?
I mean,
I don't know.
reproduced, I think. I'm not sure.
It does not do any of those things. It is as alive as those zombies were.
No? I'm going to go with no on that one.
Says the man directing the cart with the necromatics.
Look, a soul powers a cart quite well, all right? It's not a big deal.
Seems like the time in the cart is getting some good philosophical discussion from you guys.
She's not gonna listen to Dwayne anymore. She'll just sit there and I guess, not hug the chest, but keep it close.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Coral, sensing that you're kind of leaning against it or kind of falling asleep against it, starts making that, like a Spotify playlist with ocean sounds on it. Just to soothe you to sleep. Alrighty. So, assuming, the long rest happens, was anybody taking up any kind of watch, or were you guys pretty unconcerned? It doesn't seem too terribly threatening, since Doyle astutely pointed out the William Wisps. You haven't really seen or heard much of anything else. So I guess there's no need for a watch.
It should, just in case.
After a while, Owl the Familiar will be posted on watch, but he's new, so how useful he'll be, we don't know.
Alrighty. So, as you guys start to variously nod off, I would imagine Owl kind of perches herself on one of the levers that's not being touched and yanked by Felon, and starts, cleaning herself.
Excuse me, I'm trying to direct the cart. Please.
Dwayne, can you roll a d6, please?
I can roll many d6s. Maybe. I roll a 5.
Okay.
This is the best possible number on a d6.
It's not a bad number. So, your owl's keeping an eye out on what's going on, and Felon's trying to swat it away. It pecks at Felon lightly, and it stops cleaning itself, and it does that thing where your dog looks up and looks at the door, and then looks at you, and then looks at the door, And it just kind of is looking straight ahead and then back at you, Doyle. And then straight ahead. And then its head kind of twitches a little bit, and then it goes back to cleaning itself.
Dwell just watches it for a moment. Hadn't considered how creepy it would be having a creature that could twist its head all the way around like that to look back at me. And it looks past it after a little while towards whatever it's looking at.
Yeah, looking past it, you don't see anything. Can you roll a perception yourself, though?
I can. But it's going to be really bad. I'm not good at predicting rolls.
Yeah, so, that's not bad. So, looking ahead, you don't really see much of anything. You do feel the cart kind of start to chug, almost like you guys were heading up on a roller coaster, and now you're starting to make this slow, chuggy descent. And you hear a very faint. You're not sure what it is. It could be music. It could be chanting. You're just not 100% sure.
Felon.
Yeah, what? Yes.
Do me a favor, turn your head slightly and tell me if you hear anything. I think I hear some chanting.
Felon cocks his head and listens intently.
Dwell helps him listen.
Should I roll a perception? Or since he pointed out, can I hear it?
Dwell like cups his hands on either side of his head.
Please don't do this. Thank you.
Okay, and you guys are slowly, you all are turning your heads and listening, and you're hearing like background sounds and voices or something, and you hear shuffling, dirt moving or something, and you hear what sounds like music, maybe.
Felon stops the cart, so he removes the background noise of the cart moving, so he can listen closer to see what's going on.
That probably wakes up Briseis. They're not moving anymore.
Yeah, you Briseis, upon kind of waking up yourself, you hear a tune that you kind of remember your dad humming all the time.
That should kind of. Does it sound like him, or just the tune?
It doesn't sound like lyrics. It sounds like dun, 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 dun. And Felon, you've read about music in books before. You're like, oh yeah, it has that melody and the thing and the who.
Uh-huh.
That's about all you can tell from it. I think that would.
Music.
So as you guys slowly start making your descent. All right. So if you guys would all drag yourselves on, if you can find yourselves.
I did. I happened to be on the right spot.
What order were we in?
And the phone will be at the front because he's driving. Beyond that, I don't remember. Once Cloud is normal sized, it's not as big of a deal.
Squish.
All right. So as you guys all make your way down, the cart, now you're sure, Dwayne, is definitely chugging in a downward motion, and it starts to get a little brighter. Looking over the side, you both hear and see what looks like water. It's pretty far away, and it's kind of dark still, so you're not 100% sure, but it's moving, so you're hoping it's water at this point. And you guys are chugging down, and the music starts to become louder. And you see in front of you a couple shambling people moving towards you. And
Oh dear.
the closer that you
Oh,
get,
dear.
you see more and more, and the music starts to get louder,
Oh dear.
and you slowly hear, "It's raining dead. Hallelujah, it's raining dead. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna let myself get absolutely soaking wet." And I'm gonna need you to roll initiative.
I'm dying.
Oh goodness.
I can't play the music because,
Nope.
they'll shut it down.
All right.
It's raining dead, huh?
Had that stuck in my head for weeks.
All right, so as you guys start arriving down the tunnel in that downward slope motion, kind of brings a little bit more velocity. First thing that's happening, Felon, would you stop the cart immediately on seeing things in front of it, no matter what they were?
Well, for the moment, yes, it is going to be stopped.
Okay.
I have an idea, though.
Oh.
So it looks like this skeleton is a little bit quicker than all of you. Maybe you're just not looking ahead because you're not expecting things, and it just throws a short sword at you, Felon, because you're in the front of the cart. And when it throws this sword at you, like its arm comes off of its body. And as you look behind this one, you can see that most of these skeletons are missing, like, ribs. Some of them don't have one arm. Some don't have either arm.
So
Some are missing a leg. Most of them are missing, like, most of the arm bones. Like, there's one bone holding up most parts of each skeleton's arm. They look shoddy.
Yeah. Okay. Someone's not doing their best work down here. Okay. Felon will point this out.
And then I'm probably just going to do things intermittently between everybody's turn.
That's fine.
That would just be the easiest way to do it. Doyle?
There's quite a number of them.
Yeah, but they seem pretty poorly put together. I don't think it'll be a problem.
Well, we're not going for subtle, are we?
Nah.
Good. Dwayne will just discuss that briefly, and then cause an earth-shattering kaboom, centering right about there. Oh, I haven't cast armor yet. Well, why not go big? And he will alchemically boost that with a first-level spell to do extra damage.
Boom.
Boom. And then a little bit more boom. Uh, 28 points of boom.
There's a lot of boon. And and you're used to like skeletons just kind of falling apart when you hit them with a shatter or something like that. These literally, like the bones of the actual skeletons themselves are exploding. It's kind of hard to tell if it's the force that you put behind it or if it's the spell. But it's not normal.
That was a bit disappointing, actually.
There's a couple of things that are coming out. Felon.
Okay. Right now it's not super urgent. If let's go to Sacred Flame this guy because he seems like he's about to fall apart anyway. Oh, that
No.
jerk! What the heck?
Not reliable.
Drive over him.
That's actually my next plan, is to just start moving the cart forward, especially since they seem so shoddily made. Fallon thinks he might be able to just knock them over and they might just fall apart. So I don't know what kind of action it is. Can he just like push the lever forward and make the cart keep going?
Okay. Yeah, that happens. The cart moves forward.
And worst case scenario, they claw at us, but I don't think they're really going to do much damage to us at this point. Which are famous last words, and I'm aware of that, but YOLO.
What could possibly
As the
go
kids
wrong?
say.
Yeah, so you roll the cart forward.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to here, which is where you're expecting it to stop. But there's no hitch at the end. So it keeps rolling forward. You all end up in the cart right here. The undead that were on your path, they barely even managed to look up, let alone get out of the way of the cart. And then considering that you were all towards the front of the cart, you would all be able to see what is going on here. As you guys get to the end and you land the cart with a loud goof at the end of the wall, you look down and you see lots and lots and lots and lots of bodies.
Oh dear.
They all look really disjointed. Felon in particular, you can tell that these are definitely orc bodies. Cloud.
Alright, then.
All right. So we've got, is the one that the card is on top of, is that one gone too, or is it still there? Okay. All right. So, and they're just do they even appear to be like reacting to our appearance?
So the zombies and also the skeletons, both, they kind of had that cliche horror, just kind of shambling around, and then they hear the noise and kind of look up, and you can see all the heads in the room turn towards the cart.
All right, noted. I'll hop down off and just try to start clearing a path. Imagine that's a hit.
Yeah, and as you hit that, it just falls like into dust, just right in front of you.
I'll basically just move to the next one and repeat the procedure. Is it 11? Yep. And bonus action for the last one. And then I'm just going to kind of look back over my shoulder and actually I'll take like, that was like 5, 10, 15, no. Take a couple steps back. Just having cleared some space for everybody. Yeah, they're in pretty bad shape, it seems.
Yeah, I imagine you're more focused on dust out of your claw as
Right.
opposed to, the danger that's being presented here. One of them does, however, close in with you
Sure.
and try to make a stabby stab.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
a successful stabby stab for 4 points.
I'm so proud of them.
Yeah. It's all grown up.
Briseus, as you get ready to, step in, you see Cloud mow down a couple, and your attention is drawn to the ceiling. It's much higher up here than you guys were seeing in your minecart, and you look up and you see like dirt coming down or something, and you keep watching for a second as something falls out of the ceiling
The spider comes back.
onto your cart, apparently. With a loud crash, cracking, one of the corners or one of the sides off of the cart.
Oh my.
And then it just kind of shambles up and turns towards whoever said, "Oh my." And
Briseis, it's raining dead.
She is going to actually ignore that guy. Take whatever.
Can you make a wisdom save for me?
Me? Okay. Where's my wisdom? Doink. Roll, please.
Okay.
She is going to take these attacks of opportunities to get to, I think. Yeah, yep. And she's going to try to destroy undead and everything in this whole area. 30 feet, so I guess he's just out of it. So
Yeah,
this area.
I suppose. Hold on. You have a little bit more sight here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's going to attempt to destroy undead. Take out a chunk of them.
All right. So usually you can just touch your holy symbol, say a quick prayer up to Lathan or chant him a little bit. Boom. No undead problems. It takes you a couple extra seconds this time. You know when you're in like a cave and you got a bad connection?
This guy.
It does take a little bit, but eventually it comes through. Mortars shamble up. Nobody's getting close. Most of them don't move. Dwale.
What a satisfying way to wake up. He steps forward to keep an eye on things and casts mage armor on himself. Go team, go.
The team responds.
No,
Felon.
not you. Not you.
All right. Felon is going to put himself. Oh, that's weird. Oh god. Oh. Okay, I wasn't there. Apologies. He's going to go to here, and he's going to see quite a lot. Isn't it? I'm gonna get a little bit closer before I start doing it. So I am going to. For now, I'm gonna spiritual. I'm gonna sacred flame this guy again. Eat it. Ah! Can't dodge it that time. I wanted to get closer, more pushed. Excellent. That's it for now.
And as that one poofs in front of you, another one just kind of flop right in front of Briseis. Cloud.
Fun times. All right. Move through to here. Dip that one. And then onto here. Bip that one. And then fall back a few feet.
All right. That happens. As Cloud just waltzes in and just starts throwing limbs and staves everywhere. One of them it has enough space to get
Nope.
in. And another one kind of falls down. A couple more manage to actually move a little bit. Perseus.
She's gonna start moving, and she is going to cast Spirit Guardians. Make that circle.
Ooh.
Click.
Get right in the middle. Make him roll all the saves.
Yep. It's going to 30. Get these guys. Then just keep walking.
Yeah. So this one doesn't seem to have as much trouble. Getting the cast off doesn't feel like as deeply personal as when you channel divinity to blow up undead. Seems to go through just fine. And on the next turn, a bunch of stuff just you're standing next to it and it explodes. The skeleton decides to throw its arm at you, which is coated very much like a short sword. And then nothing else. Well,
Doyle walk up, takes his staff, sort of sights along it, and keeps an eye above. Looks like he's trying to play inverted whack-a-mole should anything come out from the ceiling. Firebolt to anything that comes out of the ceiling. And that'll be it.
Poof. Poof.
Versailles, I think you have this game down.
Well then.
All right. Well, I mean, Berseus is to be this whole thing unlocked, so I'm not super concerned about it at this point. I'm gonna run up to here. I'll blast one of the sacred flame. I know she'll be totally left out on the action.
That happens.
And so I poof one, and then I'm like, "Go, Berseus! You're doing a great job. Keep it up."
She's just holding her holy symbol and praying, chanting, singing to counter the other song.
Well, something's trying to fall in front of your face.
Why? Why would you do that?
So as it falls, as it starts falling from the ceiling, just you hit it with a firebolt, and it just goes back into the ceiling, but in all separate pieces.
And stay there.
A couple more fall down, and I gotta go back. Cloud.
Mm-hmm. Since it seems to be working okay so far, her clearing these out, we'll just move over into the midst of these, and gonna try to put one attack on each of them, starting from left to right. So left, bottom, and right. 40, 50, 55 to there, and I'm done.
Arr. 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 And deleted. Wrong place to fall out of the ceiling, buddy. This one, yeah, no, none of them can really do anything.
It's the
There's only
same
so many
for,
arms these skeletons have to throw.
the during the end of Mass Effect 2, where they're having to creep through under the biotic field.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just creeping down the tunnel, staying inside the Spirit Guardian's radius.
Okay.
Okay.
She's just gonna walk and she's gonna sing and
What are you singing?
Oh, she's singing?
I haven't figured out what she's singing yet. I'll get back to you on that in a second.
Oh, in that situation, then we'll add some musical accompaniment to that. I'll put the quarterstaff back and we'll just go with kicks instead.
You've got a singing kick line.
All right, well.
Well, they are moving quickly, aren't they? 12 jogs to keep up. Good work. That's it.
There's kind of this like little gap, so stuff can actually move around Briseus. Oh, Felon!
Oh,
What?
Felon!
you found the one.
What? You jerk.
Oh, don't worry, Cloud. There's one for you too.
Wow.
Good lord.
Doing
And
work.
there's one more for Cloud.
Sure. Everybody. No, that's fine.
Everybody.
Felon.
Screw you, dude. To the one that hit me. Yeah, no. And then I say, keep up. You're doing great work over there, Cloud. I'm gonna like go up and around and then down into there. And it's my turn.
Cloud.
Yeah. So at this point, yeah, continuing to kind of pick up on Briseus's tune and kind of improvising in the same key and like turning to the ones around and like when you reach like the beginning of like a new bar of a musical phrase, it'll be like punctuated with a kick on like the downbeats. So one to the one above and the one below. And then we'll move, assuming that takes those two out. We haven't been rolling damage on a lot of them so far, so. Yep. And then I'll move down to this one, and for my bonus action attack. And then back over into the formation.
Okay. Yeah, Bryce Davis.
And she's moving this way.
Okay.
She's singing. I wasn't expecting to sing tonight.
You know, I was never one for church
Yeah.
processions, but this is fairly nice.
If you guys play Dragon Age,
The first one, yeah.
the Dawn Will Come song is what popped into my head.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Your blade and raise it high. Stand your ground, the dawn will come. Moving, exploding zombies.
Yeah.
Right. So as Bryce Davis is wandering around and blowing things up and is starting to hum to herself. Are you guys actively just trying to stay next to her the whole time?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, basically the plan or my plan at least was to like, bip out, catch any stragglers that are around, and then like kind of keep back close to her.
Okay. I feel very good about dropping out of turn order in that
That's fair.
instance.
Mhm.
With the understanding, as long as you guys move in a group, boop, you guys can keep moving. Some of the features that you'll notice is as you're walking through, and as you kind of clean up this area a little bit, the rate at which you're, stopping these things from existing, does not match the rate that they're coming out. So you are able to thin it out, but there's always a couple falling down from behind you, ahead of you, etc.
All right.
They're just a feature.
Okay.
But yeah, now you've entered this main room. Besides being covered with dust, not even bones anymore, just dust. Looks like it has been well trodden in the past.
She's going to keep that up as long as she can. They'll head down together.
All right, let's keep going. Ah!
Cloud. Come along.
Oh, sorry.
There'll be more for you to punch later. And as he does that, he turns around and throws a bubble of acid on one. Ooh, directions.
As you move forward, that main room, which was mostly covered in powder, these further rooms down, the water from the river has made these areas a little bit more musky, damp. Doesn't smell pleasant.
Hmm.
This path kind of branches off a little bit, revealing a couple of side rooms.
You know, this would probably be a good place to grow mushrooms.
I mean, probably, yeah, right?
And Dwayne, as you remark upon that, another skeleton falls out of the ceiling and just poofs in front of Briseus, and you get a nice mist full of skeleton dust in your face.
I breathed someone in.
Careful. Keep your mouth closed, Dwayne. I know that'll be difficult for you.
We move on.
Do we see anything? And there's nothing special down these little side passages, other than dust.
Well, go ahead and give me. Are you trying to track what was here, or are you trying to see if there's anything now?
Just see if there's anything now.
Go ahead and give me perception.
I'll help.
Okay. I will take your advantage. Thank you. I will roll a 21.
Besides the miscellaneous dust and exposed flesh that's been poofing off of Briseus' surroundings, you do see the distinct imprints of 8 pieces of metal moving on this on the path down this way.
8 pieces of metal moving. That's an oddly specific number of pieces of metal.
Do you think that would be our spider friend?
It would certainly seem that way, wouldn't it?
Did you happen to catch sight of Trix or her brother? Footprints or a wheeled conveyance for him?
No, not that I saw. They might have a quicker way around, though.
The trail of undead.
They certainly don't want people getting in here.
And then, how are
It's
you
like
guys
Pac-Man.
moving?
Like that?
Information of a
Mhm.
No,
figure.
just briskly.
Yeah, quickly. We don't want to dilly dally. Hopefully, we've done Briseus' loyalty mission. Otherwise, this might go poorly.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna throw this out there. You definitely use the necromancy stone to get here.
Yeah, but that's just like minus rep. If you make up for it in other areas, you can still get the loyalty rating. It's like one of those
Yeah.
arguments. You have to go talk to them later. I'll have to talk to Briseus later at camp and be
Right.
like, "Yo, hey, I'm really sorry I used a necromancy stone. I promise I'll never do it again. But it was for the good of the mission." And then she'll be like, "Yeah, I guess you're right." And then look,
Yeah, you can lose loyalty and still not lose people in the thing. I lost Miranda's loyalty and everybody made it out of the mission alive for me. So
Yeah. And if you go talk to them, generally you can patch things
Yeah.
up. So.
You know what? The best thing about having Cloud as a companion, though, is you never lose loyalty from him.
Never.
really,
Yeah. Because you're the dog. You're the dog.
That's not even the right animal. That's the wrong one.
Just keep testing that theory, Dwayne.
Also, DMs.
He's from the Malbari clan.
Can I ask a totally meta question that is just for my own personal edification?
As long as it's not about
I don't-
it's
I don't-
raining dead, yes.
No, is this a Jared Blando map? Because this seems like a Jared Blando map. I recognize that art style.
I have no idea, but I've added a lot of stuff to it, so maybe.
Okay. I am left unsatisfied, but I appreciate the answer anyway. I'm pretty sure it's a
okay.
map.
There we go.
Is that an eye on the floor?
It does look pretty spooky, doesn't it?
Whoa!
Look at that! Thank you, oh kind, merciful sky god, for quenching my curiosity.
Is that a statue?
Certainly looks like it, doesn't it?
I can't really tell. It's not all that well lit.
Yeah, so entering into the center of this room, it's awfully dark, but you guys can see there is something very faded, kind of cracks running through it on the ground right in front of you. And Bryceus, it looks very similar to what you have on your shield right now. It looks like a very faded eye, which you guys recognize as what used to be a popular orc god symbol. On either opposite side of the room are large 8-foot, what look like stone statues. Getting, a little closer to the one near you. Right. This one here, you see that, getting a handout, hold on.
Phelan, what was that orcish god's name?
Groomsh. Good old Groomsh.
Yes.
I believe his symbol is an eye, I think.
Indeed, it is.
Yeah.
You guys figured that out back when you saved the town and Bryceus got her shield. Looking closer at the statues, the one nearest to you kind of looks like a orc in heavy armament, making a very mean, angry face.
Grr.
So everyone, if I may direct your attention to a particular scroll, and Felon is digging through his bag, and he pulls out the old orc scroll that got. Now, if I recall, Baldur's Gate is on the sea, and these skeletons do seem to be orcish, doesn't it? And now, doesn't that perhaps mean that this is the place described in this particular scroll? And Felon sort of holds it out, kind of forgetting that you can't read orcish, but you know which scroll he means. It's the one labeled Orc Scroll in the notes.
Well, if you're saying that we've traveled far enough to reach the place of senseless slaughter, meaning that we are now under that place, and that's where the bodies are falling from.
It would make sense, wouldn't it?
That would make sense.
Yeah. And there's just the Eye of Groomsh and the statues. It certainly seems troubling. Do I recognize this orc fellow? Is this Steve the orc? Alexander the Great Orc? Someone important?
Perhaps if we put our heads together on history. You know what? I'll race you.
Okay, sure. Well, you did better than me.
So as you guys are having this conversation and thwarting off all the orc skeletons that are dropping from the ceiling casually, trying to figure this all out, Dwayne, you're like, yeah, this one looks like it starts with a V, Varther. And Felon, you're getting closer and you are staring at him and you read the nameplate on the bottom and it says Vartherg in orc.
Vartherg. Oh yes, Vartherg.
You definitely knew that, Dwayne.
I don't remember him.
Huh. Well, he's a little less popular than others. Certainly less popular than Steven.
Well, obviously, but I don't know why one would make a statue of him, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, generally one makes a statue of oneself.
No, I don't think so. Generally people make statues of people that are important. They don't make them about themselves.
Oh, well, I've never really met anyone more important than me, so...
Right.
The other statue looks a little bit different. This one's holding what looks like a sword and shield. And the other one looks like it's holding drums, maybe? It's holding something heavy and round in front of it.
Let's go over and look at that one.
Now, as we start moving away, Dwell will do a quick investigation of the platform of the statuary to see if it looks like it has any mechanisms or moving parts to it.
You're looking at the statue platform? Is that what you said?
The statue platform, the statue arms, the joints where it sort of goes together. Is this just a statue or is it perhaps a mechanism?
You are inspecting it. You don't see any like levers, buttons, switches, or anything. And in fact, it's got a fair amount of dirt, on its shoulders and on the cover of it. It looks like it's been here for quite some time.
I always wanted to find a statue with one of those arms you pulled, the sort you pull the arm and then something opens and reveals a thing. It always seemed like a good story.
I'm sure we'd be able to find you one, Dwell. Don't worry.
I was going to have one commissioned, but it seemed like cheating.
That does feel like cheating to me.
Bryceus and Dwayne, as you guys get closer, you can see that this statue also has a nameplate just like the other one does. It has a little more writing on it. This one just says, Stephen the Bard.
Ah. Felon, we found your Stephen.
I knew I remembered it, Stephen. Don't remember him being a bard, but not everyone's perfect. Wonder why they're here. Maybe they died here.
Well, weren't they related or something? In some story together?
Maybe.
Cloud, you know a lot of stories. Do you recall anything?
I could, I guess, make an attempt to pull something up of what I might know if I've heard anything from this area. With history or...
Yes, please. History check.
Well, actually,
you do recall this story, but you recall that it's a very long story, and you're gonna have to recall it over, metagaming 7-ish days.
That's
We're gonna go ahead and end there this evening with you guys inspecting Stephen the Bard. Very ferocious looking.
Okay.
What was his clan name? Was it Tyler?
Ooh.
I think he was of the Beverly Hills Orcs.
Of the Beverly Hills Orcs? Not a Steven Tyler, then.
He was in the Aerosmith gang, though.
What about? I think was it perhaps the Sondheim clan? They made quite the bards in their day. That's all the Stevens I can think of. Stephen Merchant, he's funny. It's kind of a bard, right?
Takes all kinds.
Exactly. Oh, hey, Sin.
Yes, Sean.
Sin, perhaps is there a chance that maybe we could have maybe leveled up a little bit? Level up, maybe?
Well, so you started off completely sacrificing Elkton John, and then calling witness again to be a meat shield. Although, he's still somewhere. I'm sure you wouldn't
To be
leave
fair,
him in the cart.
he was the MVP for that fight.
He was. He did quite a good job.
And he got all his mushrooms for it.
Yeah.
And then come the dawn, he faded away with his mushroom-covered fur to delight all his other 8 friends in the fluffy bag, which now smells of nutty mushrooms.
Exactly.
And you did the fancy sword-legged spider that got away from you.
That is true.
You stepped over some bones, some lightly, some trampled. You ate some mushrooms, which was great.
I did. Yeah, it was a good time.
You all shoved and rode together very politely on a cart after figuring out the levers.
Felon only had to threaten to turn it around 3 or 4 times.
And you're sure that the left lever would have done that. And then you made it all the way down after a nice long philosophical chat about what actually is alive versus not, which is very apropos for where you guys have been. You got, pulled down on your roller coaster to a veritable sea of undead. Bryceus got a flashback of her, dad humming this terrible song.
Yeah.
And so she decided to cover it with her song of her own, and you guys joined in, which I think was wonderful. And you came in here and you recalled your story, and I think that even though the story is still being told by Cloud, and you'll figure it out next week,
right.
I think that is enough to push you over the edge for leveling.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Caveat: no getting fresh hit point rerolls. No getting fresh spell slots. You can have your level 4 slot. You can have your level 4 spells. You can have whatever hit points you would get, but no auto insta long rest in 2 seconds. Skeletons through arms. I want the skeletons throwing arms to actually mean something.
And that one did crit me, which was very mean.
We can't forget about that. That's going to be an important part of the story.
Wait.
So can we roll hit points, just not
So you're saying just be down the hit points. We would be down already from the hits.
Yeah, so when you gain your max hit points, you get also the hit points to go there. You just don't go all the way up to full. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I took 8 points of damage, so bump the max, but then be 8 down from max.
Yeah.
All right.
I see. Excellent.
But if we were to gain, say, a 4th level spell slot, we would have that 1 4th level spell slot.
Yes.
For example.
Yeah, because otherwise that would suck.
Okay. I'm just checking.
Excellent. Oh, what are those? Oh, that sounds like a good spell. Let's look at that.
Ooh.
It is a good spell. I was right.
Good news, everyone. Thank you for DMing.
Thank you.
And the eye, I realized that I entirely forgot to do something with Briseis, like when they got back to Baldur's Gate. I was gonna have her find paint and paint a sun over the eye, but I entirely forgot to do that. And it just reminded me. I was like, oh yeah, I had a whole plan that just vacated my brain.
All right. We're gonna roll that d8. Let's do it. Come on.
Yeah. Gonna be brave.
Felon needs a new pair of shoes.
Hey,
Oh, I
Cloud.
hit. Shit.
Hey, Cloud.
Hmm.
Have you ever wanted to be a Tyrannosaurus? Just asking for no
I
reason.
told you.
Oh boy. Am I gonna be brave and take the roll? Am I gonna be brave and take the roll?
Oh, don't take the roll. Don't do the roll.
Oh, I'm doing the roll.
Oh, no.
Oh! There we go.
Ooh.
There we go. 9 more hit points.
All right. Well. Oh. All right. I'm gonna make a huge tactical error too. That
Are you gonna get everybody took the roll?
If we're gonna all do it.
There you go.
Oh, that's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
That's a good roll.
Better than if you'd taken the average
That's a good roll. We'll take
by
that.
1.
Hey, that's an important one when you're a
No,
wizard.
yeah, hey, every point counts.
That is better than 1/40th of my hit points. So
All right, 8, 9.
Just realized I need to update the slideshow. You guys
Yeah,
are
that's
still
what
level
I
5.
said. I mentioned that in chat. I noticed that earlier. I went and looked at the stream, and I'm like, still says we're level 5 in there.
Dwayne.
yes.
Question. I think we need to do a little coordination.
Coordination.
What spells are you taking at level 4?
What spells am I taking? I get to take 2 new spells.
Just so you're aware, Arcane Eye and Confusion are the 2 I get by default. So
Okay,
I always have those prepared forever.
I am definitely not looking at Arcane Eye.
Uh-huh.
I am. No, not Confusion. So you can have both of those. They're all for you.
So I mean, I'm gonna have them regardless.
They're all for you, buddy. I actually do not know the 4th level spells all that well.
Here, you want a
Ooh,
super sweet.
Summon Greater Demon.
That's always fun.
Here,
It's so
there's
pretty.
a good link.
How
It's
could
defaulted to cleric right now, but you can at the top if you go to spells, you can sort them by class, and then you can sort them by level, so you can see what like 4th level wizard spells are available.
Cool.
It's pretty useful.
Hang on here.
Clerics? Can clerics swap spells?
Swap.
Like,
Um,
because someone was telling me, I don't know if they were right or not, that clerics can. They technically don't learn spells; they just.
well, the only
them,
thing
so they have.
your cantrips you learn are from a set spell, but yeah, for the rest of them, you pick whatever you want from like the
You have the whole list available.
whole
Yeah,
cleric
that's,
list.
that's what
Yeah.
I was asking. So I think
Yeah.
she's gonna take.
Yeah, every long
Yeah.
rest you can swap out.
Cantrips are the only ones that are fixed.
Bound
And
forever.
technically the ones from your domain too.
Well, right,
Yes.
yeah, because you're considered to always have those memorized.
Right.
But yeah,
Mm-hmm. Advantages of being a cleric. Suck at wizards. Like in another game I'm playing in, it's like very like low magic fantasy realism stuff. It's like the wizard has to go to a wizard. We're on a quest to go to a wizard college to get him his 2nd level spells. And like when we leveled up, I was like, oh, look at all these 2nd level spells. I just know them all the time forever. And I've rubbed it in his face every single day because he's like, wizards are the best. And I'm like, oh, really? Who has 2nd level spells? Look at it. And he gets very upset about it.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Conjure minor elementals. I could have lots of little servants. So many toys.
Oh, baby.
How did you just figure out?
No, sorry. When we finished game, I was in the middle of. I wanted to finish a mission I was doing in Far Cry 5, so I booted it up, and I managed to snipe a pilot out of his plane. I was just very excited about it. That's all. Oh, ouch. Oh. I only have one 4th level spell. I don't know if it's worth preparing anymore. Do you think you're going to take Banishment?
Banishment's a nice spell for getting rid of folks and giving you some time to do stuff.
It is pretty good. I might prepare Divination, too. Divination's good. And it's a ritual, too. I'm gonna prepare Divination.
Oh,
You know,
damn
actually, I can't even cast it yet because I don't have the material components. So, put Banishment on the list for right.
Okay, 21.
My extra spell. No, I think I'm pretty leveled up.
I
Level
got
7 is just 4th level
I just-
spells for me.
Yeah, I just get 2 abilities that in. Besides, like more, I got another key point. Slow fall goes to 35 feet from 30. Hold the body goes to 21 points of healing from 18. Deflect missiles gets a little better. And then I get evasion and stillness of mind.
Ooh, Autoluke's Resilient Sphere.
I get that.
You could become a ping pong ball.